This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Strong opening. I love it. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, December 9th. I'm Tori here with Al and Jeff. We were just talking sports.
Yes.
I put some money on Kansas.
Did you?
I don't know what that is.
Good, they won.
Oh, good. Okay, excellent. I'm glad to hear it. I have no idea. We have the wonderful Lindsey Granger joining us from home. I will always bet on Lindsey. How are you doing today?
Tori, stop talking sports. You and I have to bow out of that conversation gracefully, okay?
Okay, you're right. I shouldn't just be like, Kansas, intercept. Yay. I agree with you.
But yeah.
Oh, was it? Good call.
By the way, Lindsey's hair has just been looking awesome
She's
for the last couple weeks.
killing it.
It needs to be said.
Yeah, I
Lindsey,
agree.
You look amazing.
I agree. Wow.
Thanks, Al. I appreciate that.
Al?
See, I'm not going to say
And?
anything. You
Thanks,
look great
everybody.
too, Tori.
Thanks, everybody.
That's an interesting painting back there, since we're not going to start the show.
No, we are going to start this show.
That was an interesting painting back there.
It's a beautiful still life.
You
All
know,
right.
I'm trying to be a little mature with my space. The producers were joking on me because, you know, in the other spaces I'm in, very colorful and bright, and this is very calm and collective and
It is.
mature.
Very museum-esque.
It is.
That's the room your aunt that comes to stay with you, that she stays in, and it's just weird and quiet, and you just hear soap operas in there, the door shut.
Great
Okay, let's
opening.
get the show.
We're going to make the show happen now. Guess what? The UK. We're going to get all the way to Britain. The UK is now warning about allergic reactions linked to the Pfizer COVID vaccine. Now, know that this is okay. At least 2 people were treated after getting the shot yesterday. But we do want to note that those 2 people have a history of major allergic reactions.
Thanks for saying that.
It's important. I read all about it, and they have to have like an EpiPen at all times, those 2 employees. They're both doing okay now. And speaking of the vaccine, many people are wondering, can a place of employment require you to get it?
I never even thought about that.
And can you be fired if you don't? Well, ABC's legal correspondent Dan Abrams weighed in on this earlier. Take a look.
In the vast majority of cases, you're what's called an employee at will, meaning you can be fired for any reason that's not discrimination, not based on race or gender or sexual orientation. So if they say that's a requirement of the workplace, that's going to be a requirement of the workplace.
Period. Now, there are exceptions to this, though. So listen to this. If you have a medical reason, and in certain states there can also be religious exemptions, you can get out of it using the Disabilities Act. So if you're nervous because you have a lot of allergies too, there's ways of you to be exempt from this rule. Jeff, do you think it's okay and constitutional to require you to have it at a private business?
Yes, and especially because I just interviewed Dan Abrams last week. We're best friends, so I have to take his side on this one.
Got it.
I do, Tori, and listen, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but we have to take care of the masses in this case, right? In this problem. Everyone always wants a loophole because that's where we are in society right now. You're like, hey, this guy's great. What about me? I'm allergic to bananas. Well, listen, can we figure out the other 300,000 people right now, or 300 million people that are dealing with this, and we'll worry about your banana allergy later? Yes, absolutely. It's up to the employer if you want to be employed there. And like you said, it's not discrimination, because if you can't, you have something you're allergic to, there are exemptions for it. It's not like, no, I don't care about your preconceived or your pre-existing idea, or, dude, I'm all over the place. Whatever, you're out of here. It's not everything right now. We're looking for headlines, right? We're looking for why people can't. I appreciated you saying in the beginning, listen, these people who got the vaccine already had a pre-existing allergic reaction to it. But the headlines now will read, vaccine does not work,
right,
because 2 people didn't get it. I'm so tired of these headlines, and I will stop talking now.
Well, no,
I appreciate that.
Stop talking, but Jeff and Lindsay, I want to get your opinion on this. I think what Jeff is kind of upset about in terms of, what the headline is going to say, when you live in a profit-driven motive in terms of, articles, you need to have an article that makes people click on it. It's literally, that's how you get paid now. So an article saying everything's great with the vaccine is not going to get a lot of clicks, but an article that says, possible rejections?
Yeah.
Is the vaccine dangerous? What are you going to click on? And until we get profit out of healthcare and profit out of journalism and profit out of politics, we're going to have these problems.
I appreciate that. Lindsay, I want to get your take on this. Just so you guys know, if you want to be a medical worker, you are required to take an annual flu vaccine. If you want to go to Ghana, you need to take a vaccine and show proof of vaccination against yellow fever. So these are already, polio was mandatory. Lindsay, what do you think about this? A private employee saying, you get the shot or you don't come in?
It's kind of stressful because I understand why there's hesitance to get the shot right away because of how quickly this whole process was done in comparison to historically. But I do understand, as somebody who travels a lot, when I went to Ethiopia, we had to go as we got our passport checked and show them that we had the yellow fever vaccine. Right. And if you didn't, you had to get it at the airport or go home. And so I think it's something that it's a legitimate conversation to think about how employers are going to handle this, as long as they're not discriminating against anybody that's going to be negatively affected and it could affect their health long term. I think we have to abide by the rules and get the shot. And then as a consumer, if you go to a restaurant and they say, hey, listen, our entire staff has been vaccinated, wouldn't you breathe a little bit deeper? Yes. And if you were one of those people who didn't want to step outside this entire time during quarantine, we'll finally feel comfortable in those spaces knowing that you and your grandmother can, let's say, eat dinner or go to Target without catching the vaccine from an employee.
Totally agree with you. Competitive advantage if I say my entire restaurant has had the vaccine. I completely agree with you on that. Some people disagree, right? There's always 2 sides. sides. So Tia from Twitter says, no, this is unconstitutional. A lot of people feel like you're invading when you inject something, that I have a right to not do that. Tom from Twitter says, seems okay as long as the employer can be held liable for any side effects. Again, there's workarounds, so you can do it from remote, or you can find a way if you have an allergy to get out of it. Well, speaking of this,
what about fluoride in the water? Is that unconstitutional? I just want to hear from Tia.
Is
fluoride in our water, in our drinking water? I know we got to move
Interesting,
on.
like seatbelts are also right,
yes.
Exactly. Well, there's a new concept tied to this vaccine that I want to talk about. You guys are all writing in like crazy. It's in the works, and it's called a COVID passport. So it would show who's been immunized and who hasn't. The idea is to follow people who travel easier with fewer restrictions and attend concerts and sporting events without having to get tested. People who get the 2 required doses of the vaccine would get a card they just carry around with them, or it could be stored in a phone app. The people who don't want to get the vaccine or can't get it for health reasons could still travel and go to events, but they'd have to show proof of a negative COVID test. I'm okay with this, and I'm someone who takes personal rights really seriously. This is something that a government, their duty is to protect with what you said, a massive COVID-19 vaccine for the 70% of our population. That's their duty. So, Lindsay, do you think that a passport is crazy for Americans, or can this become normal?
I think it definitely will become normal, just because, you know, how else can you move around? There's going to be people who don't want to move around in the same kind of ways, like won't go to concerts, people who will. But if you are one of those people who want to get back to being super active, you're going to have to show that you're not going to be infecting a mass group of people at a concert or somewhere else. And I think if you have something on your phone that says I've been vaccinated, and even if you have the choice to not take that vaccination and then show that you got a COVID test recently, I think you're really going to save a lot of people from getting sick as we wait for the vaccine to kick in, because 70% of people have to take the vaccine in order for it to be effective in our country. So when we think about a lot of people opting out for random reasons, like Jeff was saying, it's going to start to cause stress on the outcomes and what's supposed to happen with the vaccine.
I agree. Yolanda just wrote in, just like your immunization records, we have these. Remember when you get the mumps you have as a kid? Your kids have them, I'm sure.
Like you guys brought up a great point about traveling. Like I've traveled so much and had to have so many shots that I didn't even know what they were. But in order to get into these countries,
it's a yes or no.
I had to get these shots. It's like, listen, it's the same. Do you want to go to a concert? You have to get this shot. You have to have this passport. If not, stop complaining. You're not allowed in. I'm so sick of hearing these voices from the few that disrupt the many. Wow, a clap from Tori. I got a shot of something crazy this morning. Maybe you did.
No,
Jeff, you need to make a PSA to everybody.
I'm going to clip that for sure.
That was good.
Jeff and Tori agreed. Show over. It's been a pleasure.
Hallelujah. We got some people writing in. Deeb from Twitter says, just wait till they tell us it's mandatory to go into business and grocery stores. It might be. And Trevor says, if this is what it takes for me to finally be able to see the Broncos with a full stadium again, I'll carry a COVID passport around. Like you said, don't complain or don't go.
Right, and there's all these people who are not taking care of themselves, and I hate to be blunt, but they're overweight, they're drinking Cokes, they're smoking, they're not doing what they want because they're not taking care of their body, and they're the ones complaining. Don't tell me what to do. Well, we're not telling you what to do. And look at what's going on with yourself, right? We need to fix things, and we're trying to help you. We're not trying to take away your rights, and I'm so sick of people tiptoeing around these subjects that affect a large percent of America. But if you say something like that, look at this white privileged guy speaking with his toxic masculinity. You put labels on everything, trying to shut me up. You need to listen. You need to open your ears and start listening. I'm bringing this into 2021, so get used to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mic drop Schroeder.
Jeff's on fire.
I'm a little turned on right now.
I like 10 issues in there.
We all are. Okay, sorry. Let's talk about this because I want to get your opinion on this. Very well done, Jeff Schroeder. It's time to ask this age-old question again. Are aliens real? Well, a former Israeli space official says yes, and he has proof. He's claiming, get this, there is a, quote, galactic federation running an underground Mars base with the U.S. in a secret pact. He went on to say that the aliens will not reveal themselves until humanity can reach a point when they fully understand
Can you stop
space
reading?
And spaceships. I have to keep going. This former space official, I don't know what that means, also claims that President Trump knows about the alien existence and was asked not to say anything to avoid mass hysteria. Albert Jackson, you have the floor.
I just don't, here's what I don't like, guys, is do I believe that alien life exists? I honestly do, but I don't think that, it's almost like people's vision of heaven, where it's like people are hanging out like they do on Earth, because that's all we can realize, that there's a federation and there's like different, like why would the aliens like also follow our system of hierarchies? Like I assume that if you're an alien that could fly here, you'd be like, look, I know more than you'll ever know, so here's what I need you to do. I need you to get on your knees. You're going to be my table. I'm going to sit whatever space drink this is on you. The aliens aren't going to be like, let's talk with the Americans. Like, why us?
Lindsay?
There's 216 countries. Stop it.
Do you agree? Why can't
Honestly,
they come in peace?
I don't believe this at all. And just like how you feel about whales, Tori, I hate seeing those weird big heads of aliens. It really makes me cringe. So I prefer if we don't discuss this, and I don't believe it at all. Why
They
are
are
you
scary.
again?
Everyone's on fire today. I love it. Let us know if you believe in aliens and if there's a federation. And if you're part of it, please write in. Lindsay, stick around. Coming up on DBL, TV and Broadway star Matthew Morrison is taking a starring turn in a live musical version of The Grinch. He's telling us what it took to get into character, and we're sharing the most popular Google searches of 2020.
Al Jackson?
No one asked for you. Some may surprise you. Coming up.
The last few weeks, the development of coronavirus vaccines has gotten most of the attention. But what if you've been infected with COVID-19? What are your medication options? Let's verify. What drug treatments has the FDA approved for COVID-19? Our sources for this are the FDA and drug companies Eli Lilly and Regeneron. Since the pandemic began, the FDA has approved 3 drug treatments for people infected with coronavirus. According to the FDA, in October, the government approved the antiviral drug remdesivir as a treatment. Early studies suggest it may speed up recovery time in COVID-19 patients. In November, the FDA approved 2 more treatments. Drug companies Eli Lilly and Regeneron both created antibody cocktails. According to both companies, these treatments are to be used in mild or moderate cases of COVID-19 to prevent the virus from becoming severe. A spokesperson for the FDA says all of these treatments are still being studied for effectiveness in already hospitalized patients. Do you have something you'd like verified? Email us at verify@WUSA9.com.
Welcome back to DBL. So the pandemic has spent a lot of us are spending a lot of times on our phones, right? And computers. Stop it, Al. He just went, good job, Tori.
You got another case of Jeff's over there.
And now Google is breaking down how we all tried to make sense of 2020. So some of the most Googled questions this year were, why is the NBA postponed? And why is the toilet paper sold out?
These are like questions to Santa.
I know. Other popular searches included drive-in movie theaters near me, how to cut men's hair at home, and how to make hand sanitizer. As for Twitter, one of the most retweeted tweets of 2020 was, congratulations to the astronauts who left Earth. Good choice.
That's funny.
And do you remember this one, simply titled Quarantine Day 6? It's a sock puppet eating cars through a window.
I wish that wasn't funny, but
It's so good. And guess what? It was retweeted 850,000 times.
Makes it work even better.
What does the sound
'Cause he's
sound?
like, oh, and he makes noise.
We're 7 years old. All right, Macaulay Culkin's tweet that made us all feel old again got more than 3 million likes. He turned 40. That's crazy. Ooh. And one of the most retweeted and liked posts that was that shocking announcement that actor Chadwick Boseman had passed away after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. that sums it up a lot for me. I also think Kobe was a huge Google because people were like, is this real?
I would think that would be the thing.
A huge one, right?
Is this real?
Because it was so unbelievable. Lindsay, what do you think sums up 2020 for you in a Google search? Is there anything that you felt strongly that you think sums up your 2020?
Well, on a non-serious note, I wish I would have searched how to cut men's hair at home because I really jacked up the back of Colin's head at home when I was trying to cut his hair. So I wish that I would have looked that one up like everybody else who was smarter than I was.
My friend's cutting my friend's cutting her husband's hair, and everyone's like, "Word, do you get clippers? Do you get scissors?" That's like a kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I taught myself how to cut my son's hair because I was like, he doesn't have to go to school and be ridiculed, and my girl cuts my hair, so. Yeah, it's.
Do you get your? How do you get? Or is your hair just growing?
Well, I had it short before the pandemic, so I grew it out. Like I didn't cut my hair for like 4 months.
Right.
During the pandemic, finally, barbershops or whatever opened up, you know, and I could go get my hair cut. But now I keep it long, so I don't have to go as often.
I kind of like it. Not gonna lie. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I dig it.
Lindsay?
I was thinking about shaving it off.
No, man, you got a beautiful coif of hair.
You got a coif.
I just got an ill face from a girl's wearing socks with high heels.
Oh no, low blow.
It's
Low blow, Jeff.
out.
Low blow. She almost made like a throw-up face. When I said
I just think you have a good coif. Coming up on DBL, Matthew Morrison is bringing The Grinch to life and a new musical airing tonight. So how will he make the iconic character his own? Find out next.
Christmas Eve, the whole Christmas season. I hate all the who's, don't ask me the reason. It could be the hearts are so full of mirth. It could be the problem goes back to my birth. Maybe peace.
Welcome back to DBL. That was a sneak peek of tonight's premiere of Dr. Seuss' The Grinch musical on NBC. Earlier, I talked with the star, Matthew Morrison, to see how he brought the character to life. Check it out. Matthew Morrison joins us live. First of all, Matthew, welcome to DBL.
Who's hanging a miserable mistletoe wreath?
A lot of people have played the Grinch, just like a lot of people have played Batman, and everybody's gonna have their favorite Batman. How are you going to make this Grinch a lot of people's favorite Grinch? What are you gonna bring to this Grinch that no one has before?
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
That's a good point.
Then I will have done my job right. Well, first of all, this is a musical, so I think that in and of itself, that makes it different from the other versions. But in that, I had to find out, how does the Grinch sing and how does he dance? Because I was like, I don't want the Grinch to dance. So that's just kind of ridiculous. We actually already shot this. This was meant to be a live musical, but with COVID protocols this year, the actors were in a bubble, the camera crew was in a bubble, the stagehands were in a bubble, so it was impossible to film this live. But we rehearsed this for 5 weeks like a stage musical or a play. I felt really terrified to go into this role because it's something I don't usually do, play this kind of like dark character. But there was this great liberation that happened within it, and it made me feel so free and just I had a ball.
I just want to ask a question as a fan. Just how long did it take for you to transform into the Grinch, like actual time?
You know, it's a process. I mean, the whole process took 3.5 hours. And I really gave me time to just kind of sit in like what I wanted to bring to this performance. So honestly, that whole month of rehearsal, we were in a mask and doing the distance thing. But it wasn't until we actually filmed this thing, which we only did it for 2 days, that's when everything came off. So it was actually seeing people for the first time and seeing their expressions, and people were seeing my expressions. I was doing so many mouth things with the Grinch. And so it was cool to see the reactions to what I was doing under the mask for that whole month that they couldn't see. I got into the hair and makeup chair like really early in the morning. And like you said, it took 3.5 hours to do. So I might have been asleep for some of it.
That's honest and beautiful. And look, I'm excited. My kids, I'm going to sit down with them and watch this with them. And, you know, I'm going to tell them that I met you. And they'll be like, whatever, Dad. Isn't it crazy? You thought your kids would, like, worship you. And your kids like, what? My kids are, like, annoyed by me. They turn when they see me on TV. They're like, Daddy's shows are boring. So at least you get the Grinch costume.
I know when I was actually in my whole getup, I was FaceTiming my son, and it actually took a little while for him to actually understand who I was. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Matthew Morrison, thank you for stopping by. The Grinch musical airs tonight. Don't miss it. We'll be back.
Thank you, Al.
Promotional.
Welcome back to DBL. The Affordable Care Act has been around for 10 years, but how much do you really know about it? I know, I didn't know that. We're sharing some Affordable Care Act fast facts on this DBL Health Alert presented by Health Markets. First up, it's been around since 2010 and was designed to provide affordable coverage for all Americans. Who benefits? Well, if you don't have health insurance right now or you buy it individually on the market, like a small business owner, this could be for you. Why enroll? It offers subsidized or tax credits, subsidies, excuse me. You can't be denied coverage because of pre-existing health problems, and prescriptions cost less. We've made it very easy to find for you. If you're eligible for an ACA plan, to get a free quote today, just call 1-800-753-3126. I know I messed up a word in there and I saw Jeff's head turn.
No, you said you put a T at the end of
I know.
But hey, we're out of time. Go ahead.
Someone just said they wish someone from the Space Federation had written in. So do I. So do I.
They got time.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Maybe we are the Federation.
Maybe.
We're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Will Americans be required to carry a passport proving they got the COVID vaccine to be allowed into public places and events? Why some are saying it violates their rights. We want to know what you think, DBL Nation. An Israeli space official makes wild claims that aliens are real and have been in contact with the world for years. He even says President Trump knows all about it. Are we about to find out that aliens are among us? In today's True Crime Chronicles, how a young music executive's unsolved death could be linked to the O.J. Simpson case.
Obviously, when he was murdered, it just really shocked us.
And Glee star Matthew Morrison is playing the Grinch in a new live TV musical. Find out how he's making it his own.
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
Real, Honest. Entertaining. Live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, December 9th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Erica joining us from home. Let's get right to it because the UK is warning about allergic reactions linked to the Pfizer COVID vaccine. At least 2 people were treated after getting the shot yesterday, but we do want to note that that those 2 people have a history of allergic reactions.
Very important.
Yes, they are both doing okay now. And speaking of the vaccine, many people are wondering, can a place of employment require you to get it? And can you be fired if you do not get it? ABC's legal correspondent Dan Abrams weighed in on this earlier today.
In the vast majority of cases, you're what's called an employee at will, meaning you can be fired for any reason that's not discrimination, not based on race or gender or sexual orientation. So if they say that's a requirement of the workplace, that's going to be a requirement of the workplace.
There are exceptions to this, though. If you have a medical reason, and in certain states there can be religious exemptions. Jeff, what do you think about, let's say our place of employment required all of us to be vaccinated. How do you feel about that?
I think it's up to the boss, and I would be fine with it, and I would go get a vaccination. I think people stick to these headlines, and I'm going to take Dan Abrams' side because I interviewed him last week, and we're best friends now. But I'm going to take his side because it is up to the employer, and it's up to you if you want to work there still or not. If they say it's mandatory to have this because we want to stop the spread of it and be the masses, you have to get that, or you have to find yourself another job. Just like with concerts, we're trying to get people back. If you get a vaccine, you could come in this venue. If you don't, you can't come in here. That's the way it is. We keep sticking up for these little people who say, basically, I'm going to go back to headlines. Let me start this thing over. I'm going to go back to headlines. We sell this by saying the vaccine, people are allergic to it. And then we don't clarify what that is. We did on this show, thankfully. But these headlines that we have now, this clickbait, are scaring people away. They don't want to get the vaccine because of headlines like this. People are trying to sell stories. I'm so tired of that in 2020, this clickbait mentality. Start educating people with facts.
Erica, do you agree or disagree with Jeff?
Well, I think a little bit of both. I think that people have a right to take care of themselves and their family as they see fit. However, everything in this world is about choice. If you make a choice to take care of your family and opt not to take the vaccination for whatever reason you may have, and that's 100% your prerogative, but you also have the choice of not working for a specific employer who's requiring such, and I think that that is fair.
Yeah, I would just button this up because I know we're getting a lot of comments of people thinking that it's unconstitutional, right? Let me read the comments really quickly. Tia on Twitter says, no, this is unconstitutional. Tom says, it seems okay as long as the employer can be held liable for any side effects. I would just say I feel very strongly about those exemptions. I definitely am pro-vax here. I would vaccinate myself. But if there's somebody who is autoimmune suppressed, compromised, or they just went through chemotherapy, or they're pregnant, I would hope that they would be able to legally opt out and not be penalized for it. And I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah, and I think they do that. The government is doing that, right? But people just want to stir up trouble, and they have a job and they're perfectly fine, but they're like, hey, this is unconstitutional. It has nothing to do with you. You're not even part of this problem, but you're making a problem and you're stirring things up online. That's what 2020 is to me, and I'm tired of it.
All right, let's get to this next part. There's a new concept tied to the coronavirus vaccine, and it is in the works. It is called a COVID passport, which would show who's been immunized and who hasn't. The idea is to allow people to travel easier with fewer restrictions and to be able to finally attend concerts, sporting events without having to get tested. People who get the 2 required doses of the vaccine would get a card that they would carry around with them. Or it could be stored in a phone app. Interesting. The people who don't want to get the vaccine or can't for any health reasons, as we just specified, could still travel and go to events, but they'd have to show proof of their negative COVID test. Fair or not fair, Al?
I think it's fair because it applies. I think that we really can get bogged down in like one issue, Sam, where we're just like, I don't know if this thing is fair. But if you think about what a passport is, it's just an admission for you into anywhere. When you go to CVS and you see the sign that says for employees only, you don't go, that's unconstitutional. there are only certain amounts of people that can go in there that have certain clearance, just like with the government, just like with parking spaces and stoplights. Everything is meant to maintain order because there are millions of us, and without parking spaces and stoplights and places that people can't go, and don't bring your kid, a kid can't be here unless they're with their parent. We have these rules to maintain the safety of everybody. So whether you're going to another country or you're going to a Kenny Chesney concert, we're trying to maintain the safety of the most people that we can.
I just got a really interesting comment from Jane Orr on Facebook asking you, Al, directly. This just came in regard to pro-choice versus pro-life. And if you are pro-choice because you don't want the government, and I'll just summarize it because it's long. If you're pro-choice because you don't want the government deciding what to do with your body, how can you be pro-mandate vaccine?
Well, first of all, there's a couple.
That's a great point.
It's a great point, but it's a great question. Let's unpack that a little bit. When you start talking about being pro-choice, pro-life, if somebody has a child that they do not want to care for and give it up for adoption, which is a noble thing to do. My sister is adopted. I'm all for that. But now you are asking the state, and who's the state? It's us, to help raise that child. So we do have a say in what goes on with that. When you start talking about whether you're allowed to go certain places and you might be sick, there have to be restrictions in place, because if there's a breakout, the state, Jeff, Sam, myself, Erica, are now going to have to pay for that. When Trump went to the hospital, we had to pay for that. When Giuliani's in the hospital now, we are all paying for that.
I just want to say, Alec, quick to back up your point. Yes, I know, final point. If you go to another country, Al, you have to get immunized with whatever it is that their country abides by, right? You don't sit at the border and say, this is unconstitutional, let me in. They say, get the hell out of here. That's what they say. So enjoy living in America and enjoy your freedoms. You always want to challenge every little thing that goes on. People can't stand living in America during this COVID thing, right? Well, now we found the cure for it. We have the answer for it, and people still want to complain about it. It's never going to end. Your world's never going to get better if you complain about everything in it.
Lots of passion here today.
I like it.
I know, I like it too. Okay, so it's time to ask this age-old question again. Are aliens real? A former Israeli space official says he has proof. He's claiming that there is a, quote, galactic federation stop it, Al, running an underground Mars base with the U.S. in a secret pact. He went on to say that the aliens will not reveal themselves until humanity can reach a point where they fully understand space, spaceships. This former space official also claims that President Trump knows about the alien existence, but was asked not to say anything to avoid the mass hysteria. Erica, do you believe this guy?
I'm not arrogant enough to believe that we are the only ones who exist in this universe, okay? But I just found it funny that, I mean, politics aside, Trump has a hard time. Trump is a sieve. How he know this and we don't know he know?
You know Trump wants to be tweeting about it left and right, but hey,
Sam, how do you feel about this?
NDA. Well, listen, I know that you don't feel good about it because you said no in the middle of the copy. I tend to believe it.
You think there's a galactic space federation?
Yes.
That has a hierarchy?
Why wouldn't there be?
Because you're a human being, Sam, and you're expecting aliens from a million miles away to conduct things like, oh, here's the second in command. If you can fly to Earth, you would look at us as like, oh, let's wipe them off, take their water and their oxygen, and bounce. They're not going to be like, oh, let's talk to these leaders.
Why would you assume that an advanced race or species is somehow not going to be altruistic, is somehow not going to be more technologically, I can't even say that word, advanced, and perhaps they would want to somehow help us. Maybe they want to help save Earth. Who knows what they know that we do not know?
So you're saying this is some kind of universal Doctors Without Borders program?
Why wouldn't there be, though? If we're talking, you said earlier to me that you believe in aliens.
Yes.
So if aliens, where I would say all of us collectively, there's a fear there. If aliens is a real thing, you don't think that the government would invest in some sort of federation, some sort of hierarchy to make sure that they are in charge of controlling the amount of information that gets leaked to the masses?
We couldn't get masks handed out to everybody, Sam. How are we going to invest in a universal galactic federation in which we all sit down and powwow? Luckily, they all speak English like Star Trek.
You think
that's
there's
really
aliens and there's no sort of
yes,
control?
I think there are aliens that all speak English and found our leader and didn't talk to China or India that have 1 billion people. They came to a relatively small country.
Who do you think is in the federation?
Who do I think is leading? His name is Shazbut. He is.
What?
That's the name of the leader. That's from the planet, Shazbut. And
Did you make that up?
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Did I make that up? Yes,
Erica
Sam.
Cobb, I can't with him.
What?
Okay, Erica, stick around. Coming up on DBL, we've got a roundup of the Stars Christmas displays and decorations. Some are really going all out this year. Plus, TV and Broadway star Matthew Morrison is taking a starring turn in a live musical version of The Grinch, and telling us what it took to get into character. And we're sharing the most popular Google searches of 2020. Some may surprise you coming up next.
Is it Chaz Button?
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. The pandemic had many of us spending a lot of time on our phones and computers. Now Google is breaking down how we all try to make sense of 2020. Some of the most Googled questions this year were, why is the NBA postponed? And why is toilet paper sold out? Other popular searches included drive-in movie theater near me, how to cut men's hair at home, and how to make hand sanitizer. I did those last two. As for the Twitter, this was one of the most retweeted tweets of 2020. Congratulations to the astronauts who left Earth. Good choice. And do you remember this one, simply titled Quarantine Day 6 of a sock puppet eating cars through a window? It was retweeted 850,000 times. Macaulay Culkin's tweet that made us all feel really old got more than 3 million likes. And one of the most retweeted and liked posts was the shocking announcement that actor Chadwick Boseman had passed away after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. Erica, what would you say summed up 2020 for you? Was there a specific Google search or tweet that summed it all up for you?
I'm going to have to say Kobe's death. I felt like that day, ever since that day in 2020, it has just been like mayhem. And I remember I'm on that app. Oh, crap. What's the name of the app?
Patterns?
The one that tells you like what's happening in the world and what you're supposed to experience. And on the day of Kobe's death, it said that like everything was going to be in mayhem for the next 18 months. And I swear, ever since that day, everything has been in mayhem.
What about you two?
Jeff, what do you
Anything that you actually partook in? Did you actually partake in, okay, I'm going to make hand sanitizer, or I'm going to make how to do my own haircut, or Jordan to cut my hair, anything like that?
Well, my hair, I grew my hair out for the pandemic because I didn't cut it for like three or 4 months because we couldn't go to salons and things like that.
Right.
You're making a weird face. What's yours?
No,
You know what mine was?
You seem like so not interested in that. I asked you and you're like,
Mine was this, Jeff, and I think a lot of people, I know people are going to be like, oh, you're on TV, so who cares? I think this applies to everybody, especially men that are not used to putting on makeup. I looked up how to put on makeup for men because people are going on Zoom dates. They're having Zoom interviews.
Interesting.
And so, like, and we were shooting from home, remember, for the first month, and, like, Jeray, our incredible stylist, was helping me, but, like, sometimes my face was weird. One time somebody tweeted me, I'd done my makeup so badly, they asked if I was sick, and they weren't being mean.
Oh, no.
They were like genuinely concerned. Erica, I don't know if I ever told you.
No.
Somebody goes like, and it was a very thoughtful fan of DBL.
And then it made you rethink, okay,
Yeah,
I
I
better
was
learn
like,
to do my makeup.
yes.
And we did, Mark learned how to braid.
Ooh.
So he looked up braid my hair, braid Sophie's hair, and we did it specifically for my pregnancy so I could look cute while giving birth. But
Yes.
we ended up using it throughout the whole quarantine.
That's great.
So learn how to braid hair. It comes in very handy. Coming up on DBL, we're sharing a new list of country's most popular holiday treats, why some sweet treats are stranger than others, and actor Matthew Morrison is bringing the Grinch to life in a new musical that airs tonight. So how will he put his own spin on the iconic character? Find out next.
Picking your health insurance coverage is...
Christmas Eve, the whole Christmas season. I hate all the who's, don't ask me the reason. It could be the hearts are so full of mirth. It could be the problem goes back to my birth. Maybe peace.
Welcome back to DBL. That was a sneak peek of tonight's premiere of Dr. Seuss' The Grinch musical on NBC. Earlier, I talked with the star, Matthew Morrison, to see how he brought the character to life. Check it out. Matthew Morrison joins us live. First of all, Matthew, welcome to DBL.
Who's hanging a miserable mistletoe wreath?
A lot of people have played the Grinch, just like a lot of people have played Batman, and everybody's gonna have their favorite Batman. How are you going to make this Grinch a lot of people's favorite Grinch? What are you gonna bring to this Grinch that no one has before?
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
That's a good point.
Then I will have done my job right. Well, first of all, this is a musical, so I think that in and of itself, that makes it different from the other versions. But in that, I had to find out, how does the Grinch sing and how does he dance? Because I was like, I don't want the Grinch to dance. That's just kind of ridiculous. We actually already shot this. This was meant to be a live musical, but with COVID protocols this year, the actors were in a bubble, the camera crew was in a bubble, the stagehands were in a bubble, so it was impossible to film this live. But we rehearsed this for 5 weeks like a stage musical or a play. I felt really terrified to go into this role because it's something I don't usually do, play this kind of like dark character. But there was this great liberation that happened within it, and it made me feel so free and just I had a ball.
I just want to ask a question as a fan. Just how long did it take for you to transform into the Grinch, like actual time?
You know, it's a process. I mean, the whole process took 3.5 hours. And I really gave me time to just kind of sit in like what I wanted to bring to this performance. So honestly, that whole month of rehearsal, we were in a mask and doing the distance thing. But it wasn't until we actually filmed this thing, which we only did it for 2 days, that's when everything came off. So it was actually seeing people for the first time and seeing their expressions, and people were seeing my expressions. I was doing so many mouth things with the Grinch. And so it was cool to see the reactions to what I was doing under the mask for that whole month that they couldn't see. I got into the hair and makeup chair like really early in the morning. And like you said, it took 3.5 hours to do. So I might have been asleep for some of it.
That's honest and beautiful. And look, I'm excited. My kids, I'm going to sit down with them and watch this with them. And, you know, I'm going to tell them that I met you. And they'll be like, whatever, Dad. Isn't it crazy? You thought your kids would, like, worship you. And your kids like, what? My kids are, like, annoyed by me. They turn when they see me on TV. They're like, Daddy's shows are boring. So at least you get the Grinch costume.
I know when I was actually in my whole getup, I was FaceTiming my son, and it actually took a little while for him to actually understand who I was. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Matthew Morrison, thank you for stopping by. The Grinch musical airs tonight. Don't miss it. We'll be back.
Thank you, Al.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Of course, they're all about the aliens. Willa says, aliens totally exist, Al. Jerome says, the idea that there's a galactic federation is bananas.
Thank you.
And Stacy says, aliens are among us. They're the lizard people that run secret society.
There's a lot of people that believe in those lizard people. I know a guy who is a very, very, very successful businessman that will sit down and talk to you about lizard people, and he's a millionaire, but people believe it.
What if you have alien DNA in you? You never know.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, look at me. I'm amazing.
You are. Remember to watch DBL on Facebook or YouTube. You can chat with other viewers and with the host during the commercials, and we'll read your comments on TV. It's your chance to be a part of the DBL Nation. Now, if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Taylor Swift gets into the Christmas spirit and gives back to her loyal fans. And in True Crime Chronicles, could a music executive's death somehow be linked to the OJ case? DBL is new every day. We'll be right back.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
When I close my eyes, it's just you and I. Magic fills the air, standing over there.
Ooh, welcome to DBL.
I
didn't know if I wanted to say Daily Blast Live or DBL, so kind of like mishmashed.
Yes, so you said neither.
We're getting into the holiday spirit with Kelly Clarkson singing Under the Mistletoe with Brett Eldridge.
Shout out to Brett Eldridge.
Oh, okay, big fan over there. All right.
He only sang at my engagement, but
he did?
You guys know this story. Anyways. Go for it.
Well, we're going to have to hear that. So
Jeff and his stories.
This was last night on The Voice. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Erica joining us from home. We're going all in with a holiday-themed list of stories for you today. So let's get to it, shall we? T Swift is getting into the spirit of the season by helping out some of her fans with some holiday cheer. Taylor donated $13,000 to two moms who have been struggling to pay their bills during the pandemic. Their stories were both featured in the Washington Post. Taylor donated directly to their GoFundMe campaigns and wrote messages to both women on their pages along with the $13,000 donation. Taylor also donated to a local food bank after one Swiftie created a light display to the tune of Taylor's song Christmas Tree Farm. Have a look.
And telling me I love you. Baby, Merry Christmas. Oh, baby, baby, Merry Christmas. Baby,
Wow, that is all out. Erica, what do you make of Taylor's generosity?
I think it's amazing, and I mean, and don't get lost on the 13,000. The number 13 is of some significance, and I completely understand this. I actually think it's very cool because I have an angel number that every time I donate anonymously, I donate that number, and it's a quirky number, but it just makes me connect it to the reason why I'm donating and what that number means to me.
I love that. That's so substantive. Do you have like an angel number, as Erica talked about? Erica.
I don't know if I have a number, that I always use. 23 is like my number, but I didn't know it was called an angel number, but I always use that.
You have an angel number? I love that.
I don't know. I hope it's more than 13.
Oh, Albert, are you being grinchy about her donation?
I'm just saying throw another zero on it.
Wow. Erica?
Remember that song, Throw Some D's? Yeah, throw another zero on it.
But what if she's...
Al, you couldn't even come up with your angel number for how you're helping, but you want to throw shade on Taylor Swift for giving people $13,000?
Erica, you know I am the biggest Swiftie there is out there. I'm just saying throw some D's on it.
Isn't throw some D's on it? I always
That's
thought
Hurricane
that was,
Chris.
I thought those were rims. Throw some D's
yes, it
on
is.
it. Oh.
Yeah.
So why are you
That was the only song I can think about on live TV, Sam. Let's continue to break this down.
To money.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
You're a hot mess, and I love how you just proclaimed yourself a Swiftie.
All right, so other celebrities are getting into the holiday spirit by lighting up their mansions. Check out Kim Kardashian. Wow, that's her white display on her $60 million Calabasas home. Instead of decorating the house, she put those snow white lights on all the trees. Now, her sister Kylie went for more of a gold-themed look with yellow lights lining the house and on the trees.
What point is it not a house anymore? That's a compound.
Yep. Jessica Simpson, she kept things simple with I love that, multicolored lights all along the home and yellow lights on the trees. Jennifer Garner wins Christmas, you guys. Look at that. Yes, super bright rainbow lights all over the house, trees and yard. And then Rachel Ray gave a tour of her guest house. Part of her main home was destroyed in a fire earlier this year. Watch.
And down the center of our back table, saved from our house that burned, a horse sculpture that is exactly the same as one my mom had in our house when I was a little girl. I found it at a flea market, no kidding. And these are living trees, the topiaries and the trees in boxes. These are all living things because it's all about renewal.
That is beautiful. Erica, have you started your decor yet?
Yes, we have. I think we have a photo of our bedroom, which is the shining light of the house, because our real tree is a disaster, but we can talk about that later. So,
what happened to the real
tree? Did a
tree?
little something in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another thing, Erica.
Can the booth
keep it
clip
PG
that, please?
Let's keep it PG. Jeff, what about you? Did you start decorating?
Yeah, November 1st. Do we have a picture? I just took a picture of my tree. That was November 1st.
Look at that.
I love that Jeff did it right away this year. And you got me to do the same thing. What about you? Or we're saving yours.
Yes.
Okay, I'm being told
Sam,
we're saving yours.
Let's get to yours. I feel like mine's going to be embarrassing.
My husband and I, we definitely started decorating. I took a page. My husband did all the lights outside. He did such a good job. But I took a page from Jeff's book. Usually I do not start decorating until well after Thanksgiving. But because of 2020, I went all out. I wanted my house to feel like a Hallmark movie. And every time I walk into it, look at Sophie's obsessed with Elf on the Shelf.
You're not supposed to touch Elf on the Shelf.
I know, but we have our own tradition because she's obsessed with her Elf on the Shelf.
I thought that was the one tradition.
She likes to find him every morning, because he flies home to see Santa and he tells Santa how Sophie did that day, and she likes to hold him every morning when he flies home from Santa. She's obsessed with her elf. Let's take a look at yours, Al.
Okay, let's do it, Sam. I've been okay.
What? One single plastic tree?
There's another one on the way that's wooden, and there are 3 wreaths that you can't see because I didn't want to put my address up there.
Wow.
But yes, look, that lights up, okay? And I think it provides a good backdrop with the white brick.
Erica, bah humbug.
What?
Bah humbug.
I'm not
Grinch.
done.
No, Al. No.
Yeah. That's embarrassing. If I didn't have this plexiglass right here, I would turn your chair.
Oh yeah, that look. Wait till
we have a side by side of Al's house and whose house? My house.
Wow.
Wow, I did not do that.
Giving
the
it to
producers
you, Al.
did.
Yeah, at least my picture's up close. I already messed with saying her pictures are terrible of our own home. It looks like you look like a celebrity stalker took those pictures. You should be behind some trash cans taking that.
I was behind trash cans taking that.
Could you get any further? Are you using a drone?
Trying to encompass the whole experience.
The whole street, nailed it.
All right, keeping with our holiday theme, our favorite sweets this time of year. Ooh, I like the music. They really depend on where we live. Job search site Zippia looked at Google Trends to find the most popular Christmas dessert by state. No surprise, gingerbread and cheesecake and holiday cookies were popular in most states. But here are some unusual ones. Utah and Washington State prefer fruity candies like Jolly Ranchers and Skittles. What? Ooh. Idaho, all about the candy cane. The Carolinas are all about the fruitcake. And get this, people in Wyoming say eggnog is their favorite dessert, while in Arizona, it's all about the hot cocoa.
How?
What do you mean, how?
I went to Arizona to visit the homie Frank Caliendo, and I took a screenshot. It was 114 for 5 straight days. Like, who wants hot cocoa?
Not during December, Al. When did you go visit?
Oh, it's 101.
No, it isn't. It's probably closer to the 70s, maybe even the 60s. When did you visit Frank Caliendo?
In the dead of summer. It was so hot.
Then your argument's null and void. What's your favorite holiday treat?
Gingerbread cookies, a little eggnog, a little gingerbread. I'm a tourist when it comes to the holidays. I like to experiment all the things, very cheesy style. So yeah, gingerbread.
Doesn't your mouth get dry? They're so dry.
I have eggnog
They're like
to wash
cardboard.
it down. Yeah, I think they're delicious.
Okay, what about you, Erica? Are you a fan of gingerbread cookies or something else?
I'm not a fan of gingerbread.
Me neither.
But I have to say carrot cake, which I know isn't really a Christmas thing, but it does seem like people serve it more around this time of the year.
Not at all, Erica.
No, Erica.
Nope, sorry,
no
girl.
One
that's
likes
more
carrot cake.
That's more of like a summer treat. That's not a Christmas.
What?
Nope.
No
Erica.
one likes carrot cake.
No. It is not a summer treat.
Yeah,
it's too heavy and decadent to be a summer treat.
That ain't no Christmas treat, Erica. You know what a good Christmas treat is? German Stola. That's what we have in my household.
Sounds like you called her a name.
German Stola.
How dare you? Should have yelled that in a bar.
German Stola is a fruit cake bread, and you put powdered sugar icing on top, and it's divine. What about you, Al? Did you partake in this? Did you give the producers your choice?
I forgot to send in my choice,
Wow.
but it's a pretty simple concept. I like sugar cookies, fresh out of the oven, a little bit brown on the bottom side, and I like to be able to see a different color sugar on top.
Oh, so you like cutouts?
Right, I like the cutouts, but I like to have the red gigantic sugar crystals or green ones on there. That's my thing.
You're a big cutout fan. I like it. I'm
am.
impressed, actually.
Thanh you.
Okay.
Sugar cookies.
Got to work on the house decor, but you got your Christmas
Well, I'll have you come
treats.
over and take a picture when I'm done.
Coming up on DBL, a young music executive's shocking death. Could this unsolved mystery from the 90s be linked to the O.J. Simpson case? That's in True Crime Chronicles, coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Welcome back to DBL. In the 90s, Brett Cantor was Hollywood royalty, a music executive who was brutally killed. The investigation went cold, but could his death be tied to the O.J. Simpson case? It's all part of a new podcast series out now. Here's an inside look in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Brett Cantor grew up in the heart of Hollywood with his family. His father, Paul, was a well-known music manager who helped guide the careers of big artists like B.J. Thomas and Dionne Warwick. Following in his father's footsteps, Brett went on to work with Chrysalis Music Group and helped discover legendary bands like Rage Against the Machine. He was also part owner of the nightclub The Dragonfly in Hollywood, where celebrities often visited, and it's where he met his girlfriend, actress Rose McGowan. At just 25 years old, there was no slowing him down until one mysterious night changed everything. It was July 30th, 1993. Brett was seen leaving a club in Beverly Hills around 1 a.m. 24 hours later, Brett's brother found his body inside his apartment. He was brutally murdered. His throat was slashed, and he had been stabbed multiple times. It's been almost 30 years, and Brett's killer is still out there. Could the conspiracy theories be true? Is Brett's case linked to the O.J. Simpson trial? In 1994, 1 year after Brett's death, America was glued to their TVs as police chased O.J. Simpson. He was accused of killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ron Goldman. Their bodies were found with very similar injuries to Brett's. Nicole was also a regular at the Dragonfly, and Ron worked there as a waiter. Brett's murder case came back into the spotlight when O.J.'s defense team argued the similarity of the three killings meant it was the same person and not him. O.J. was acquitted of the murders in 1995. For now, both cases remain a mystery. So what really happened? It's all being dished in the new true crime podcast, Dragonfly, Brett Cantor Murder Mystery.
Earlier, Tori and Al spoke with the creators of this new podcast to get an exclusive first look. We are joined by the co-creators of this brand new podcast, JC Nova and retired homicide detective Pat Tapia. Your podcast launches an investigation into the cold case and murder of Brett Cantor, a well-known music executive and 90s Hollywood royalty. JC, no one has touched Brett's story in years. So what made you want to bring it back into the spotlight and do this podcast?
Well, I actually met Brett in 1992 when I was in college. I worked at a restaurant called Damiano's, and he was one of the nightly regulars there. And obviously, when he was murdered, it just really shocked us. And we were so surprised that more attention wasn't paid to it because he was very high profile. And next door, Patrick moved in next door to me at the building that I lived in. And I had asked him about the case. I said, is there any way that you could check into it and see what's going on? And that's kind of how Dragonfly was started.
It's been almost 30 years, 30 years later, and Brett's case is still cold. Pat, you've worked in law enforcement for decades. Why do you think this case has been so hard to crack, and who do you think did it?
There's several different rabbit holes you could go down to, and there's a lack of cooperation from a lot of people back when Brett was murdered, and without solid motive or some physical evidence of who might have been the perpetrators, those are really difficult to investigate. They're very difficult to solve.
Yeah, cold cases are notorious for that. Pat, what are the ties between Brett's murder and the O.J. Simpson case? And do you believe that connection kind of hurt or actually helped Brett's case?
Well, first of all, there's really no connection other than a stabbing instrument was used in both murders. I think that Brett's case got overshadowed by the notoriety of the O.J. Simpson case, along with several other things that happened during the few years that transpired after Brett's murder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, JC, you spoke with Brett's family and friends. What was the most shocking thing they shared with you in the podcast? And has Rose McGowan or any other celebrity spoken out about Brett?
There was quite a few shocking incidents. We know that he got a phone call at 2:30 in the morning. And then at 3:30 in the morning, the neighbors heard him yell, help, help, please don't kill me. They didn't call the police. His body wasn't found until 24 hours later by his brother Cliff when he didn't show up for work. Rose McGowan has done a lot to move the case forward. We were really surprised to know that there is actually a person of interest. The case was reopened in 2006.
We're kind of thinking that Brett either found out something that was going on at the club or something else, and that in order to silence him and make him cooperate or go along with the program, he was visited by these people who killed him.
You've got yourself a new subscriber for sure in me. The Dragonfly Brett Cantor Murder Mystery podcast is out now. To listen, just search for it on your favorite podcast player. Pat and JC, thank you for publicizing this case so it can get the attention that it deserves. You all are heroes for that. Thank you for being here, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lori.
Welcome back to DBL. The Affordable Care Act has been around for 10 years, but how much do you really know about it? We're sharing some Affordable Care Act fast facts on this DBL Health Alert presented by Health Markets. First up, it's been around since 2010 and was designed to provide affordable coverage for all Americans. So who benefits? If you don't have health insurance right now, or you buy it individually on the market like a small business owner, it could be for you. Why would you want to enroll? Well, it offers subsidies or tax credits. You can't be denied coverage because of pre-existing health problems, and your prescriptions will cost less. We made it easy for you to find out if you're eligible for an ACA plan, and to get a free quote today, just call 1-800-753-3126. Healthcare. I mean, you said something earlier. You wish that there was no profit in healthcare, that there was no profit in what were
politics and
journalism.
I mean, where would we be? I think a lot of people would trust what they read a lot more, and what their doctors said to them a lot more, and what their politicians said a lot more, if they knew that there wasn't a financial incentive. I mean, these people who are put in these positions are human beings. They're going to listen to the people that give them money. And if somebody donates you $500,000, like, hey, Jeff, why don't you vote no on this bill? I know what I would do. So I don't begrudge them. I mean, you know, people want money.
And check it out. You know what I mean? Even if I understand financially you might not be able to afford it, but just call, look into it, see what.
It'll save you money.
Absolutely.
It will absolutely save you money, because if you get stuck in the hospital without any sort of protection, or
I ruptured my Achilles tendon with no health insurance. It probably destroyed my credit for 6 years.
Yeah, please give them a call. It's a great safety net, and you will save money, especially with prescription. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
on DBL. A 12-year-old crocheting prodigy whose creations are going viral.
It was really a fluke, but it was a wonderful one. It was like a happy accident.
What inspires the young man to pour his heart and soul into an unlikely hobby? Tomorrow on DBL.
One more story before we go. So do you think your Christmas trees just come out of the ground looking perfect? Think again. Check out these videos posted on TikTok of workers actually trimming trees at Christmas tree farms to get them that perfect Christmas tree shape. I guess we've all been fooled. Did you know this?
I didn't know they had to do all that.
I didn't know that. Erica.
I knew.
Oh, Erica, you know, does this have anything to do with that basement tree of yours?
Yeah.
Tell us.
It has everything to do with it. Basically, I have a Christmas blob.
That's not crazy.
I love that.
Gorgeous.
It's like a natural Christmas tree.
That looks beautiful, Erica. So what would you want it to be differently? Just more triangular shaped?
I had to filter that picture, y'all. I filtered the picture of the tree. That's how hideous the tree was.
Erica, are you body shaming your tree?
She is.
Is Erica body shaming her tree?
Shame on you. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, Erica.
On Daily Blast Live.
Will Americans be required to carry a passport proving they got the COVID vaccine to be allowed into public places and events? Why some are saying it violates their rights. We want to know what you think, DBL Nation. An Israeli space official makes wild claims that aliens are real and have been in contact with the world for years. He even says President Trump knows all about it. Are we about to find out that aliens are among us? In today's True Crime Chronicles, how a young music executive's unsolved death could be linked to the O.J. Simpson case.
Obviously, when he was murdered, it just really shocked us.
And Glee star Matthew Morrison is playing the Grinch in a new live TV musical. Find out how he's making it his own.
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, December 9th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Erica joining us from home. Let's get right to it because the UK is warning about allergic reactions linked to the Pfizer COVID vaccine. At least 2 people were treated after getting the shot yesterday, but we do want to note that, that those two people have a history of allergic reactions.
Very important.
Yes, they're both doing okay now. And speaking of the vaccine, many people are wondering, can a place of employment require you to get it? And can you be fired if you do not get it? ABC's legal correspondent Dan Abrams weighed in on this earlier today.
In the vast majority of cases, you're what's called an employee at will, meaning you can be fired for any reason that's not discrimination, not based on race or gender or sexual orientation. So if they say that's a requirement of the workplace, that's going to be a requirement of the workplace.
There are exceptions to this, though. If you have a medical reason, and in certain states there can be religious exemptions. Jeff, what do you think about, let's say our place of employment required all of us to be vaccinated. How do you feel about that?
I think it's up to the boss, and I would be fine with it, and I would go get a vaccination. I think people stick to these headlines, and I'm going to take Dan Abrams' side because I interviewed him last week, and we're best friends now. But I'm going to take his side because it is up to the employer, and it's up to you if you want to work there still or not. If they say it's mandatory to have this because we want to stop the spread of it and be the masses, you have to get that, or you have to find yourself another job. Just like with concerts, we're trying to get people back. If you get a vaccine, you could come in this venue. If you don't, you can't come in here. That's the way it is. We keep sticking up for these little people who say, basically, I'm going to go back to headlines. Let me start this thing over. I'm going to go back to headlines. We sell this by saying the vaccine, people are allergic to it. And then we don't clarify what that is. We did on this show, thankfully. But these headlines that we have now, this clickbait, are scaring people away. They don't want to get the vaccine because of headlines like this. People are trying to sell stories. I'm so tired of that in 2020, this clickbait mentality. Start educating people with facts.
Erica, do you agree or disagree with Jeff?
Well, I think a little bit of both. I think that people have a right to take care of themselves and their family as they see fit. However, everything in this world is about choice. If you make a choice to take care of your family and opt not to take the vaccination for whatever reason you may have, and that's 100% your prerogative, but you also have the choice of not working for a specific employer who's requiring such, and I think that that is fair.
Yeah, I would just button this up because I know we're getting a lot of comments of people thinking that it's unconstitutional, right? Let me read the comments really quickly. Tia on Twitter says, no, this is unconstitutional. Tom says, it seems okay as long as the employer can be held liable for any side effects. I would just say I feel very strongly about those exemptions. I definitely am pro-vax here. I would vaccinate myself. But if there's somebody who is autoimmune suppressed, compromised, or they just went through chemotherapy, or they're pregnant, I would hope that they would be able to legally opt out and not be penalized for it. And I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah, and I think they do that. The government is doing that, right? But people just want to stir up trouble, and they have a job and they're perfectly fine, but they're like, hey, this is unconstitutional. It has nothing to do with you. You're not even part of this problem, but you're making a problem and you're stirring things up online. That's what 2020 is to me, and I'm tired of it.
All right, let's get to this next part. There's a new concept tied to the coronavirus vaccine, and it is in the works. It is called a COVID passport, which would show who's been immunized and who hasn't. The idea is to allow people to travel easier with fewer restrictions and to be able to finally attend concerts, sporting events without having to get tested. People who get the 2 required doses of the vaccine would get a card that they would carry around with them. Or it could be stored in a phone app. Interesting. The people who don't want to get the vaccine or can't for any health reasons, as we just specified, could still travel and go to events, but they'd have to show proof of their negative COVID test. Fair or not fair, Al?
I think it's fair because it applies. I think that we really can get bogged down in like one issue, Sam, where we're just like, I don't know if this thing is fair. But if you think about what a passport is, it's just an admission for you into anywhere. When you go to CVS and you see the sign that says for employees only, you don't go, that's unconstitutional. there are only certain amounts of people that can go in there that have certain clearance, just like with the government, just like with parking spaces and stoplights. Everything is meant to maintain order because there are millions of us, and without parking spaces and stoplights and places that people can't go, and don't bring your kid, a kid can't be here unless they're with their parent. We have these rules to maintain the safety of everybody. So whether you're going to another country or you're going to a Kenny Chesney concert, we're trying to maintain the safety of the most people that we can.
I just got a really interesting comment from Jane Orr on Facebook asking you, Al, directly. This just came in regard to pro-choice versus pro-life, and if you are pro-choice because you don't want the government, and I'll just summarize it because it's long. If you're pro-choice because you don't want the government deciding what to do with your body, how can you be pro-mandate vaccine?
Well, first of all, there's a couple.
That's a great point.
That's a great point, but it's a great question. Let's unpack that a little bit. When you start talking about being pro-choice, pro-life, if somebody has a child that they do not want to care for and give it up for adoption, which is a noble thing to do. My sister is adopted. I'm all for that. But now you are asking the state, and who's the state? It's us, to help raise that child. So we do have a say in what goes on with that. When you start talking about whether you're allowed to go certain places and you might be sick, there have to be restrictions in place, because if there's a breakout, the state, Jeff, Sam, myself, Erica, are now going to have to pay for that. When Trump went to the hospital, we had to pay for that. When Giuliani's in the hospital now, we are all paying for that.
I just want to say, Allie, quick to back up your point. Yes, I know, final point. If you go to another country, Al, you have to get immunized with whatever it is that their country abides by, right? You don't sit at the border and say, this is unconstitutional, let me in. They say, get the hell out of here. That's what they say. So enjoy living in America and enjoy your freedoms. You always want to challenge every little thing that goes on. People can't stand living in America during this COVID thing, right? Well, now we found the cure for it. We have the answer for it, and people still want to complain about it. It's never going to end. Your world's never going to get better if you complain about everything in it.
Lots of passion here today.
I like it.
I know, I like it too. Okay, so it's time to ask this age-old question again. Are aliens real? A former Israeli space official says he has proof. He's claiming that there is a, quote, galactic federation stop it, Al, running an underground Mars base with the U.S. in a secret pact. He went on to say that the aliens will not reveal themselves until humanity can reach a point where they fully understand space, spaceships. This former space official also claims that President Trump knows about the alien existence, but was asked not to say anything to avoid the mass hysteria. Erica, do you believe this guy?
I'm not arrogant enough to believe that we are the only ones who exist in this universe, okay? But I just found it funny that, I mean, politics aside, Trump has a hard time. Trump is a sieve. How he know this and we don't know he know?
You know Trump wants to be tweeting about it left and right, but hey,
Sam, how do you feel about this?
NDA. Well, listen, I know that you don't feel good about it because you said no in the middle of the copy. I tend to believe it.
You think there's a galactic space federation?
Yes.
That has a hierarchy?
Why wouldn't there be?
Because you're a human being, Sam, and you're expecting aliens from a million miles away to conduct things like, oh, here's the second in command. If you can fly to Earth, you would look at us as like, oh, let's wipe them off, take their water and their oxygen and bounce. They're not going to be like, oh, let's talk to these leaders.
Why would you assume that an advanced race or species is somehow not going to be altruistic, is somehow not going to be more technologically, I can't even say that word, advanced, and perhaps they would want to somehow help us. Maybe they want to help save Earth. Who knows what they know that we do not know?
So you're saying this is some kind of universal Doctors Without Borders program?
Why wouldn't there be, though? If we're talking, you said earlier to me that you believe in aliens.
Yes.
So if aliens, where I would say all of us collectively, there's a fear there. If aliens is a real thing, you don't think that the government would invest in some sort of federation, some sort of hierarchy to make sure that they are in charge of controlling the amount of information that gets leaked to the masses?
We couldn't get masks handed out to everybody, Sam. How are we going to invest in a universal galactic federation in which we all sit down and powwow? Luckily, they all speak English like Star Trek.
You think
that's
there's
really
aliens and there's no sort of
yes,
control?
I think there are aliens that all speak English and found our leader and didn't talk to China or India that have 1 billion people. They came to a relatively small country.
Who do you think is in the federation?
Who do I think is leading? His name is Shazbut. He is.
What?
That's the name of the leader. That's from the planet, Shazbut. And
Did you make that up?
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Did I make that up? Yes,
Erica
Sam.
Cobb, I can't with him.
What?
Okay, Erica, stick around. Coming up on DBL, we've got a roundup of the stars' Christmas displays and decorations. Some are really going all out this year. Plus, TV and Broadway star Matthew Morrison is taking a starring turn in a live musical version of The Grinch, and telling us what it took to get into character. And we're sharing the most popular Google searches of 2020. Some may surprise you coming up next.
Is it Chaz Butt?
Yeah.
See yourself. Because this is not just a mirror, it's an unstoppable community.
Come on, Jeff. Let's go.
A gift for the whole family. So join in now and see.
Tomorrow on DBL, a 12-year-old crocheting prodigy whose creations are going viral.
It was really a fluke, but it was a wonderful one. It was like a happy accident.
Tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. The pandemic had many of us spending a lot of time on our phones and computers. Now Google is breaking down how we all try to make sense of 2020. Some of the most Googled questions this year were, why is the NBA postponed? And why is toilet paper sold out? Other popular searches included drive-in movie theater near me, how to cut men's hair at home, and how to make hand sanitizer. I did those last two. As for the Twitter, this was one of the most retweeted tweets of 2020. Congratulations to the astronauts who left Earth. Good choice. And do you remember this one, simply titled Quarantine Day 6 of a sock puppet eating cars through a window? It was retweeted 850,000 times. Macaulay Culkin's tweet that made us all feel really old got more than 3 million likes. And one of the most retweeted and liked posts was the shocking announcement that actor Chadwick Boseman had passed away after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. Erica, what would you say summed up 2020 for you? Was there a specific Google search or tweet that summed it all up for you?
I'm going to have to say Kobe's death. I felt like that day, ever since that day in 2020, it has just been like mayhem. And I remember I'm on that app. Oh,
Patterns?
crap. What's the name of the app?
Patterns?
The one that tells you like what's happening in the world and what you're supposed to experience. And on the day of Kobe's death, it said that like everything was going to be in mayhem for the next 18 months. And I swear, ever since that day, everything has been in mayhem.
What about you two?
Jeff, what do you
Anything that you actually partook in? Did you actually partake in, okay, I'm going to make hand sanitizer, or I'm going to make how to do my own haircut, or Jordan to cut my hair, anything like that?
Well, my hair, I grew my hair out for the pandemic because I didn't cut it for like three or 4 months because we couldn't go to salons and things like that.
Right.
You're making a weird face. What's yours?
No,
You know what mine was?
You seem like so not interested in that. I asked you and you're like,
Mine was this, Jeff, and I think a lot of people, I know people are going to be like, oh, you're on TV, so who cares? I think this applies to everybody, especially men that are not used to putting on makeup. I looked up how to put on makeup for men because people are going on Zoom dates. They're having Zoom interviews.
Interesting.
And so, like, and we were shooting from home, remember, for the first month, and, like, Jeray, our incredible stylist, was helping me, but, like, sometimes my face was weird. One time somebody tweeted me, I'd done my makeup so badly, they asked if I was sick, and they weren't being mean.
Oh, no.
They were like genuinely concerned. Erica, I don't know if I ever told you.
No.
Somebody goes like, and it was a very thoughtful fan of DBL.
And then it made you rethink, okay,
Yeah,
I better learn to do my makeup.
Yes.
And we did. Mark learned how to braid.
Ooh.
So he looked up braid my hair, braid Sophie's hair, and we did it specifically for my pregnancy so I could look cute while giving birth. But
Yes.
we ended up using it throughout the whole quarantine.
That's great.
So learn how to braid hair. It comes in very handy. Coming up on DBL, we're sharing a new list of country's most popular holiday treats, why some sweet treats are stranger than others, and actor Matthew Morrison is bringing the Grinch to life in a new musical that airs tonight. So how will he put his own spin on the iconic character? Find out next.
Picking your health insurance.
Christmas Eve, the whole Christmas season. I hate all the who's, don't ask me the reason. It could be the hearts are so full of mirth. It could be the problem goes back to my birth. Maybe peace.
Welcome back to DBL. That was a sneak peek of tonight's premiere of Dr. Seuss' The Grinch musical on NBC. Earlier, I talked with the star, Matthew Morrison, to see how he brought the character to life. Check it out. Matthew Morrison joins us live. First of all, Matthew, welcome to DBL.
Who's hanging a miserable mistletoe wreath?
A lot of people have played the Grinch, just like a lot of people have played Batman, and everybody's gonna have their favorite Batman. How are you going to make this Grinch a lot of people's favorite Grinch? What are you gonna bring to this Grinch that no one has before?
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
That's a good point.
Then I will have done my job right. Well, first of all, this is a musical, so I think that in and of itself, that makes it different from the other versions. But in that, I had to find out, how does the Grinch sing and how does he dance? Because I was like, I don't want the Grinch to dance. that's just kind of ridiculous. We actually already shot this. This was meant to be a live musical, but with COVID protocols this year, the actors were in a bubble, the camera crew was in a bubble, the stagehands were in a bubble, so it was impossible to film this live. But we rehearsed this for 5 weeks like a stage musical or a play. I felt really terrified to go into this role because it's something I don't usually do, play this kind of like dark character. But there was this great liberation that happened within it, and it made me feel so free and just I had a ball.
I just want to ask a question as a fan. Just how long did it take for you to transform into the Grinch, like actual time?
You know, it's a process. I mean, the whole process took 3.5 hours. And I really gave me time to just kind of sit in like what I wanted to bring to this performance. So honestly, that whole month of rehearsal, we were in a mask and doing the distance thing. But it wasn't until we actually filmed this thing, which we only did it for 2 days, that's when everything came off. So it was actually seeing people for the first time and seeing their expressions, and people were seeing my expressions. I was doing so many mouth things with the Grinch. And so it was cool to see the reactions to what I was doing under the mask for that whole month that they couldn't see. I got into the hair and makeup chair like really early in the morning. And like you said, it took 3.5 hours to do. So I might have been asleep for some of it.
That's honest and beautiful. And look, I'm excited. My kids, I'm going to sit down with them and watch this with them. And, you know, I'm going to tell them that I met you. And they'll be like, whatever, Dad. Isn't it crazy? You thought your kids would, like, worship you. And your kids like, what? My kids are, like, annoyed by me. They turn when they see me on TV. They're like, Daddy's shows are boring. So at least you get the Grinch costume.
I know when I was actually in my whole getup, I was FaceTiming my son, and it actually took a little while for him to actually understand who I was. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Matthew Morrison, thank you for stopping by. The Grinch musical airs tonight. Don't miss it. We'll be back.
Thank you, Al.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Of course, they're all about the aliens. Willa says aliens totally exist, Al. Jerome says the idea that there's a galactic federation is bananas.
Thank you.
And Stacy says aliens are among us. They're the lizard people that run secret society.
There's a lot of people that believe in those lizard people. I know a guy who is a very, very, very successful businessman that will sit down and talk to you about lizard people, and he's a millionaire, but people believe it.
What if you have alien DNA in you? You never know.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, look at me. I'm amazing.
You are. Remember to watch DBL on Facebook or YouTube. You can chat with other viewers and with the host during the commercials, and we'll read your comments on TV. It's your chance to be a part of the DBL Nation. Now, if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Taylor Swift gets into the Christmas spirit and gives back to her loyal fans. And in True Crime Chronicles, could a music executive's death somehow be linked to the OJ case? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
When I close my eyes, it's just you and I. Magic fills the air, standing over there.
Ooh, welcome to DBL.
I like
I
that
didn't know if
song.
I wanted to say Daily Blast Live or DBL, so
Yeah.
kind of like mishmashed.
Yes, so you said neither.
We're getting into the holiday spirit with Kelly Clarkson singing Under the Mistletoe with Brett Eldridge.
Shout
on
out
The
to Brett
Voice.
Eldridge.
Oh, okay, big fan over there. All right.
He only sang at my engagement, but
Did
He did?
you guys know this story. Anyways, go for it.
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to have to hear that. So
Jeff and his stories.
This was last night on The Voice. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Erica joining us from home. We're going all in with a holiday-themed list of stories for you today. So let's get to it, shall we? T Swift is getting into the spirit of the season by helping out some of her fans with some holiday cheer. Taylor donated $13,000 to two moms who have been struggling to pay their bills during the pandemic. Their stories were both featured in the Washington Post. Taylor donated directly to their GoFundMe campaigns and wrote messages to both women on their pages along with the $13,000 donation. Taylor also donated to a local food bank after one Swiftie created a light display to the tune of Taylor's song Christmas Tree Farm. Have a look.
And telling me I love you. Baby, Merry Christmas. Oh, baby, baby, Merry Christmas. Baby,
Wow, that is all out. Erica, what do you make of Taylor's generosity?
I think it's amazing. And I mean, and don't get lost on the 13,000. The number 13 is of some significance. And I completely understand this. I actually think it's very cool because I have an angel number that every time I donate anonymously, I donate that number. And it's a quirky number. But it just makes me connect it to the reason why I'm donating and what that number means to me.
I love that. That's so substantive. Do you have like an angel number, as Erica talked about? Erica?
I don't know if I have a number, that I always use. 23 is like my number, but I didn't know it was called an angel number, but I always use that.
You have an angel number? I love that.
I don't know. I hope it's more than 13.
Oh, Albert, are you being grinchy about her donation?
I'm just saying throw another zero on it.
Wow. Erica?
Remember that song, Throw Some D's? Yeah, throw another zero on it.
But what if she's...
Al, you couldn't even come up with your angel number for how you're helping, but you want to throw shade on Taylor Swift for giving people $13,000?
First of all, Erica, you know I am the biggest Swiftie there is out there. I'm just saying throw some D's on it.
Isn't throw some D's on it? I always
That's
thought
Hurricane
that was,
Chris.
I thought those were rims. Throw some D's
yes, it
on
is.
it. Oh.
Yeah.
So why are you
That was the only song I can think about on live TV, Sam. Let's continue to break this down.
To money.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
You are a hot mess, and I love how you just proclaimed yourself a Swiftie.
All right, so other celebrities are getting into the holiday spirit by lighting up their mansions. Check out Kim Kardashian. Wow, that's her white display on her $60 million Calabasas home. Instead of decorating the house, she put those snow white lights on all the trees. Now her sister Kylie went for more of a gold theme look with yellow lights lining the house and on the trees.
What point is it not a house anymore? That's a compound.
Yep. Jessica Simpson, she kept things simple with I love that, multicolored lights all along the home and yellow lights on the trees. Jennifer Garner wins Christmas, you guys. Look at that. Yes, super bright rainbow lights all over the house, trees and yard. And then Rachel Ray gave a tour of her guest house. Part of her main home was destroyed in a fire earlier this year. Watch.
And down the center of our back table, saved from our house that burned, a horse sculpture that is exactly the same as one my mom had in our house when I was a little girl. I found it at a flea market, no kidding. And these are living trees, the topiaries and the trees in boxes. These are all living things because it's all about renewal.
That is beautiful. Erica, have you started your decor yet?
Yes, we have. I think we have a photo of our bedroom, which is the shining light of the house, because our real tree is a disaster, but we can talk about that later. So,
what happened to the real
tree? Did a
tree?
Little something in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another thing, Erica.
Can a booth
keep it
clip
PG
that, please?
Let's keep it PG. Jeff, what about you? Did you start decorating?
Yeah, November 1st. Do we have a picture? I just took a picture of my tree. That was November 1st.
Look at that.
I love that Jeff did it right away this year. And you got me to do the same thing. What about you? Or we're saving yours.
Yes.
Okay, I'm being told
Sam,
we're saving yours.
Let's get to yours. I feel like mine's going to be embarrassing.
My husband and I, we definitely started decorating. I took a page. My husband did all the lights outside. He did such a good job. But I took a page from Jeff's book. Usually I do not start decorating until well after Thanksgiving. But because of 2020, I went all out. I wanted my house to feel like a Hallmark movie. And every time I walk into it, look at Sophie's obsessed with Elf on the Shelf.
You're not supposed to touch Elf on the Shelf.
I know, but we have our own tradition because she's obsessed with her Elf on the Shelf.
I thought that was the one tradition.
She likes to find him every morning, because he flies home to see Santa and he tells Santa how Sophie did that day, and she likes to hold him every morning when he flies home from Santa. She's obsessed with her elf. Let's take a look at yours, Al.
Okay, let's do it, Sam. I've been okay.
What? One single plastic tree?
There's another one on the way that's wooden, and there are 3 wreaths that you can't see because I didn't want to put my address up there.
Wow.
But yes, look, that lights up, okay? And I think it provides a good backdrop with the white brick.
Erica, bah humbug.
What?
Bah humbug.
I'm not
Grinch.
done.
No, Al. No.
Yeah. That's embarrassing.
No.
If I didn't have this plexiglass right here, I would turn your chair.
Oh yeah, that look. Wait till
we have a
it's done.
side by side of Al's house and whose house? My house.
Wow.
Wow, I did not do that.
Giving
the
it to
producers
you,
did.
Al. Yeah, at least my picture's up close. I already messed with saying her pictures are terrible of her own home. It looks like you look like a celebrity stalker took those pictures. You should be behind some trash cans taking that.
I was behind trash cans taking that.
You could you get any further? Are you using a drone?
Trying to encompass the whole experience.
The whole
Wow.
street, nailed it.
All right, keeping with our holiday theme, our favorite sweets this time of year. Ooh, I like the music. They really depend on where we live. Job search site Zippia looked at Google Trends to find the most popular Christmas dessert by state. No surprise, gingerbread and cheesecake and holiday cookies were popular in most states. But here are some unusual ones. Utah and Washington State prefer fruity candies like Jolly Ranchers and Skittles. What?
Ooh.
Idaho, all about the candy cane. The Carolinas are all about the fruitcake. And get this, people in Wyoming say eggnog is their favorite dessert, while in Arizona, it's all about the hot cocoa.
How?
What do you mean, how?
I went to Arizona to visit the homie Frank Caliendo, and I took a screenshot. It was 114 for 5 straight days. Like, who wants hot cocoa?
Not during December, Al. When did you go visit?
Oh, it's 101.
No, it isn't. It's probably closer to the 70s, maybe even the 60s. When did you visit Frank Caliendo?
In the dead of summer. It was so hot.
Then your argument's null and void. What's your favorite holiday treat?
Gingerbread cookies, a little eggnog, a little gingerbread. I'm a tourist when it comes to the holidays. I like to experiment all the things, very cheesy style. So yeah, gingerbread.
Doesn't your mouth get dry? They're so dry.
I have eggnog
They're like
to wash
cardboard.
it down.
Yeah, I don't really.
I think they're delicious.
Okay, what about you, Erica? Are you a fan of gingerbread cookies or something else?
I'm not a fan of gingerbread.
Me neither.
But I have to say carrot cake, which I know isn't really a Christmas thing, but it does seem like people serve it more around this time of the year.
Not at all, Erica.
No, Erica.
Nope, sorry,
no
girl.
One
That's
likes
more like
cake.
that's more like a summer treat. That's not a Christmas.
What?
Nope.
No
Erica.
one likes carrot cake.
No. It is not a
Erica.
summer treat.
Yeah, that
It's
ain't
too
no,
heavy and decadent to be a summer treat.
That ain't no Christmas treat, Erica. You know what a good Christmas treat is? German Stola. That's what we have in my household.
Sounds like you called her a name.
German Stola.
How dare you? Should have yelled that in a bar.
German Stola is a fruit cake bread, and you put powdered sugar icing on top, and it's divine. What about you, Al? Did you partake in this? Did you give the producers your choice?
I forgot to send in my choice,
Wow.
but it's a pretty simple concept. I like sugar cookies, fresh out of the oven, a little bit brown on the bottom side, and I like to be able to see a different color sugar on top.
Oh, so you like cutouts?
Right, I like the cutouts, but I like to have the red, gigantic sugar crystals or green ones on there. That's my thing.
You're a big cutout fan. I like it. I'm
am.
impressed, actually.
Than't you.
Okay.
Sugar cookies.
I've got to work on the house decor, but you got your Christmas
Well, I'll have you come
treats.
over and take a picture when I'm done.
Coming up on DBL, a young music executive's shocking death. Could this unsolved mystery from the 90s be linked to the O.J. Simpson case? That's in True Crime Chronicles, coming up next. Welcome back to DBL. In the 90s, Brett Cantor was Hollywood royalty, a music executive who was brutally killed. The investigation went cold, but could his death be tied to the O.J. Simpson case? It's all part of a new podcast series out now. Here's an inside look in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Brett Cantor grew up in the heart of Hollywood with his family. His father, Paul, was a well-known music manager who helped guide the careers of big artists like B.J. Thomas and Dionne Warwick. Following in his father's footsteps, Brett went on to work with Chrysalis Music Group and helped discover legendary bands like Rage Against the Machine. He was also part owner of the nightclub The Dragonfly in Hollywood, where celebrities often visited, and it's where he met his girlfriend, actress Rose McGowan. At just 25 years old, there was no slowing him down until one mysterious night changed everything. It was July 30th, 1993. Brett was seen leaving a club in Beverly Hills around 1 a.m. 24 hours later, Brett's brother found his body inside his apartment. He was brutally murdered. His throat was slashed, and he had been stabbed multiple times. It's been almost 30 years, and Brett's killer is still out there. Could the conspiracy theories be true? Is Brett's case linked to the O.J. Simpson trial? In 1994, 1 year after Brett's death, America was glued to their TVs as police chased O.J. Simpson. He was accused of killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ron Goldman. Their bodies were found with very similar injuries to Brett's. Nicole was also a regular at the Dragonfly, and Ron worked there as a waiter. Brett's murder case came back into the spotlight when O.J.'s defense team argued the similarity of the three killings meant it was the same person and not him. O.J. was acquitted of the murders in 1995. For now, both cases remain a mystery. So what really happened? It's all being dished in the new true crime podcast, Dragonfly, Brett Cantor Murder Mystery.
Earlier, Tori and Al spoke with the creators of this new podcast to get an exclusive first look. We are joined by the co-creators of this brand new podcast, JC Nova and retired homicide detective Pat Tapia. Your podcast launches an investigation into the cold case and murder of Brett Cantor, a well-known music executive and 90s Hollywood royalty. JC, no one has touched Brett's story in years. So what made you want to bring it back into the spotlight and do this podcast?
Well, I actually met Brett in 1992 when I was in college. I worked at a restaurant called Damiano's, and he was one of the nightly regulars there. And obviously, when he was murdered, it just really shocked us. And we were so surprised that more attention wasn't paid to it because he was very high profile. And next door, Patrick moved in next door to me at the building that I lived in. And I had asked him about the case. I said, is there any way that you could check into it and see what's going on? And that's kind of how Dragonfly was started.
It's been almost 30 years, 30 years later, and Brett's case is still cold. Pat, you've worked in law enforcement for decades. Why do you think this case has been so hard to crack, and who do you think did it?
There's several different rabbit holes you could go down to. And there's a lack of cooperation from a lot of people back when Brett was murdered. And without a solid motive or some physical evidence of who might have been the perpetrators, those are really difficult to investigate. they're very difficult to solve.
Yeah, cold cases are notorious for that. Pat, what are the ties between Brett's murder and the O.J. Simpson case? And do you believe that connection kind of hurt or actually helped Brett's case?
Well, first of all, there's really no connection other than a stabbing instrument was used in both murders. I think that Brett's case got overshadowed by the notoriety of the O.J. Simpson case, along with several other things that happened during the few years that transpired after Brett's murder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, JC, you spoke with Brett's family and friends. What was the most shocking thing they shared with you in the podcast? And has Rose McGowan or any other celebrity spoken out about Brett?
There was quite a few shocking incidents. We know that he got a phone call at 2:30 in the morning. And then at 3:30 in the morning, the neighbors heard him yell, help, help, please don't kill me. They didn't call the police. His body wasn't found until 24 hours later by his brother Cliff when he didn't show up for work. Rose McGowan has done a lot to move the case forward. We were really surprised to know that there is actually a person of interest. The case was reopened in 2006.
We're kind of thinking that Brett either found out something that was going on at the club or something else, and that in order to silence him and make him cooperate or go along with the program, he was visited by these people who killed him.
You've got yourself a new subscriber for sure in me. The Dragonfly Brett Cantor Murder Mystery podcast is out now. To listen, just search for it on your favorite podcast player. Pat and JC, thank you for publicizing this case so it can get the attention that it deserves. You all are heroes for that. Thank you for being here, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. The Affordable Care Act has been around for 10 years, but how much do you really know about it? We're sharing some Affordable Care Act fast facts on this DBL Health Alert presented by Health Markets. First up, it's been around since 2010 and was designed to provide affordable coverage for all Americans. So who benefits? If you don't have health insurance right now, or you buy it individually on the market like a small business owner, it could be for you. Why would you want to enroll? Well, it offers subsidies or tax credits. You can't be denied coverage because of pre-existing health problems, and your prescriptions will cost less. We made it easy for you to find out if you're eligible for an ACA plan, and to get a free quote today, just call 1-800-753-3126. Healthcare. I mean, you said something earlier. You wish that there was no profit in healthcare, that there was no profit in what were
politics and
journalism.
I mean, where would we be? I think a lot of people would trust what they read a lot more and what their doctors said to them a lot more and what their politicians said a lot more if they knew that there wasn't a financial incentive. I mean, these people who are put in these positions are human beings. They're going to listen to the people that give them money. And if somebody donates you $500,000, like, hey, Jeff, why don't you vote no on this bill? I know what I would do. So I don't begrudge them. I mean, you know, people want money.
And check it out. You know what I mean? Even if I understand financially you might not be able to afford it, but just call, look into it, see what.
It'll save you money.
Absolutely.
It will absolutely save you money, because if you get stuck in the hospital without any sort of protection, or
I ruptured my Achilles tendon with no health insurance. It probably destroyed my credit for 6 years.
Yeah, please give them a call. It's a great safety net, and you will save money, especially with prescription. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tomorrow on DBL, a 12-year-old crocheting prodigy whose creations are going viral.
It was really a fluke, but it was a wonderful one. It was like a happy accident.
What inspires the young man to pour his heart and soul into an unlikely hobby? Tomorrow on DBL.
One more story before we go. So do you think your Christmas trees just come out of the ground looking perfect? Think again. Check out these videos posted on TikTok of workers actually trimming trees at Christmas tree farms to get them that perfect Christmas tree shape. I guess we've all been fooled. Did you know this?
I didn't know they had to do all that.
I didn't know that. Erica.
I knew.
Oh, Erica, you know, does this have anything to do with that basement tree of yours?
Yeah.
Tell us.
It has everything to do with it. Basically, I have a Christmas blob.
That's not crazy.
I love that.
Gorgeous.
It's like a natural Christmas tree.
That looks beautiful, Erica. So what would you want it to be differently? Just more triangular shaped?
I had to filter that picture, y'all. I filtered the picture of the tree. That's how hideous the tree was.
Erica, are you body shaming your tree?
She is.
Is Erica body shaming her tree?
Shame on you. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, Erica.
About today on Daily Blast Live.
Will Americans be required to carry a passport proving they got the COVID vaccine to be allowed into public places and events? Why some are saying it violates their rights. We want to know what you think, DBL Nation. An Israeli space official makes wild claims that aliens are real and have been in contact with the world for years. He even says President Trump knows all about it. Are we about to find out that aliens are among us? In today's True Crime Chronicles, how a young music executive's unsolved death could be linked to the O.J. Simpson case.
Obviously, when he was murdered, it just really shocked us.
And Glee star Matthew Morrison is playing the Grinch in a new live TV musical. Find out how he's making it his own.
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, December 9th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Erica joining us from home. Let's get right to it because the UK is warning about allergic reactions linked to the Pfizer COVID vaccine. At least 2 people were treated after getting the shot yesterday, but we do want to note that that those 2 people have a history of allergic reactions.
Very important.
Yes, they're both doing okay now. And speaking of the vaccine, many people are wondering, can a place of employment require you to get it? And can you be fired if you do not get it? ABC's legal correspondent Dan Abrams weighed in on this earlier today.
In the vast majority of cases, you're what's called an employee at will, meaning you can be fired for any reason that's not discrimination, not based on race or gender or sexual orientation. So if they say that's a requirement of the workplace, that's going to be a requirement of the workplace.
There are exceptions to this, though. If you have a medical reason, and in certain states there can be religious exemptions. Jeff, what do you think about, let's say our place of employment required all of us to be vaccinated. How do you feel about that?
I think it's up to the boss, and I would be fine with it, and I would go get a vaccination. I think people stick these headlines, and I'm going to take Dan Abrams' side because I interviewed him last week, and we're best friends now. But I'm going to take his side because it is up to the employer, and it's up to you if you want to work there still or not. If they say it's mandatory to have this because we want to stop the spread of it and be the masses, you have to get that, or you have to find yourself another job. Just like with concerts, we're trying to get people back. If you get a vaccine, you could come in this venue. If you don't, you can't come in here. That's the way it is. We keep sticking up for these little people who say, basically, I'm going to go back to headlines. Let me start this thing over. I'm going to go back to headlines. We sell this by saying the vaccine, people are allergic to it. And then we don't clarify what that is. We did on this show, thankfully. But this headlines that we have now, this clickbait, are scaring people away. They don't want to get the vaccine because of headlines like this. People are trying to sell stories. I'm so tired of that in 2020, this clickbait mentality. Start educating people with facts.
Erica, do you agree or disagree with Jeff?
Well, I think a little bit of both. I think that people have a right to take care of themselves and their family as they see fit. However, everything in this world is about choice. If you make a choice to take care of your family and opt not to take the vaccination for whatever reason you may have, and that's 100% your prerogative, but you also have the choice of not working for a specific employer who's requiring such, and I think that that is fair.
Yeah, I would just button this up because I know we're getting a lot of comments of people thinking that it's unconstitutional, right? Let me read the comments really quickly. Tia on Twitter says, no, this is unconstitutional. Tom says, it seems okay as long as the employer can be held liable for any side effects. I would just say I feel very strongly about those exemptions. I definitely am pro-vax here. I would vaccinate myself. But if there's somebody who is autoimmune suppressed, compromised, or they just went through chemotherapy, or they're pregnant, I would hope that they would be able to legally opt out and not be penalized for it. And I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah, and I think they do that. The government is doing that, right? But people just want to stir up trouble, and they have a job and they're perfectly fine, but they're like, hey, this is unconstitutional. It has nothing to do with you. You're not even part of this problem, but you're making a problem and you're stirring things up online. That's what 2020 is to me, and I'm tired of it.
All right, let's get to this next part. There's a new concept tied to the coronavirus vaccine, and it is in the works. It is called a COVID passport, which would show who's been immunized and who hasn't. The idea is to allow people to travel easier with fewer restrictions and to be able to finally attend concerts, sporting events without having to get tested. People who get the 2 required doses of the vaccine would get a card that they would carry around with them. Or it could be stored in a phone app. Interesting. The people who don't want to get the vaccine or can't for any health reasons, as we just specified, could still travel and go to events, but they'd have to show proof of their negative COVID test. Fair or not fair, Al?
I think it's fair because it applies. I think that we really can get bogged down in like one issue, Sam, where we're just like, I don't know if this thing is fair. But if you think about what a passport is, it's just an admission for you into anywhere. When you go to CVS and you see the sign that says for employees only, you don't go, that's unconstitutional. There are only certain amounts of people that can go in there that have certain clearance, just like with the government, just like with parking spaces and stoplights. Everything is meant to maintain order because there are millions of us, and without parking spaces and stoplights and places that people can't go and don't bring your kid, a kid can't be here unless they're with their parent. We have these rules to maintain the safety of everybody. So whether you're going to another country or you're going to a Kenny Chesney concert, we're trying to maintain the safety of the most people that we can.
I just got a really interesting comment from Jane Orr on Facebook asking you, Al, directly. This just came in regard to pro-choice versus pro-life. And if you are pro-choice because you don't want the government, and I'll just summarize it because it's long. If you're pro-choice because you don't want the government deciding what to do with your body, how can you be pro-mandate vaccine?
Well, first of all, there's a couple.
That's a great point.
It's a great point, but it's a great question. Let's unpack that a little bit. When you start talking about being pro-choice, pro-life, if somebody has a child that they do not want to care for and give it up for adoption, which is a noble thing to do. My sister is adopted. I'm all for that. But now you are asking the state, and who's the state? It's us, to help raise that child. So we do have a say in what goes on with that. When you start talking about whether you're allowed to go certain places and you might be sick, there have to be restrictions in place, because if there is a breakout, the state, Jeff, Sam, myself, Erica, are now going to have to pay for that. When Trump went to the hospital, we had to pay for that. When Giuliani's in the hospital now, we are all paying for that.
I just want to say, Alec, quick to back up your point. Yes, I know, final point. If you go to another country, Al, you have to get immunized with whatever it is that their country abides by, right? You don't sit at the border and say, this is unconstitutional, let me in. They say, get the hell out of here. That's what they say. So enjoy living in America and enjoy your freedoms. You always want to challenge every little thing that goes on. People can't stand living in America during this COVID thing, right? Well, now we found the cure for it. We have the answer for it, and people still want to complain about it. It's never going to end. Your world's never going to get better if you complain about everything in it.
Lots of passion here today.
I like it.
I know, I like it too. Okay, so it's time to ask this age-old question again. Are aliens real? A former Israeli space official says he has proof. He's claiming that there is a, quote, galactic federation stop it, Al, running an underground Mars base with the U.S. in a secret pact. He went on to say that the aliens will not reveal themselves until humanity can reach a point where they fully understand space, spaceships. This former space official also claims that President Trump knows about the alien existence, but was asked not to say anything to avoid the mass hysteria. Erica, do you believe this guy?
I'm not arrogant enough to believe that we are the only ones who exist in this universe, okay? But I just found it funny that, I mean, politics aside, Trump has a hard time. Trump is a sieve. How he know this and we don't know he know?
You know Trump wants to be tweeting about it left and right, but hey,
Sam, how do you feel about this?
NDA. Well, listen, I know that you don't feel good about it because you said no in the middle of the copy. I tend to believe it.
You think there's a galactic space federation?
Yes.
That has a hierarchy?
Why wouldn't there be?
Because you're a human being, Sam, and you're expecting aliens from a million miles away to conduct things like, oh, here's the second in command. If you can fly to Earth, you would look at us as like, oh, let's wipe them off, take their water and their oxygen, and bounce. They're not going to be like, oh, let's talk to these leaders.
Why would you assume that an advanced race or species is somehow not going to be altruistic, is somehow not going to be more technologically, I can't even say that word, advanced, and perhaps they would want to somehow help us. Maybe they want to help save Earth. Who knows what they know that we do not know?
So you're saying this is some kind of universal Doctors Without Borders program?
Why wouldn't there be, though? If we're talking, you said earlier to me that you believe in aliens.
Yes.
So if aliens, where I would say all of us collectively, there's a fear there. If aliens is a real thing, you don't think that the government would invest in some sort of federation, some sort of hierarchy to make sure that they are in charge of controlling the amount of information that gets leaked to the masses?
We couldn't get masks handed out to everybody, Sam. How are we going to invest in a universal the galactic federation in which we all sit down and powwow? Luckily, they all speak English like Star Trek.
You think
That's
there's
really
aliens and there's no sort of
yes,
control?
I think there are aliens that all speak English and found our leader and didn't talk to China or India that have 1 billion people. They came to a relatively small country.
Who do you think
and
is in the
talked
federation?
Who do I think is leading? His name is Shazbut. He is.
What?
That's the name of the leader. That's from the planet Shazbut. And
Did you make that up?
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Did I make that up? Yes,
Erica
Sam.
Cobb, I can't with him.
What?
Okay, Erica, stick around. Coming up on DBL, we've got a roundup of the stars' Christmas displays and decorations. Some are really going all out this year. Plus, TV and Broadway star Matthew Morrison is taking a starring turn in a live musical version of The Grinch, and telling us what it took to get into character. And we're sharing the most popular Google searches of 2020. Some may surprise you coming up next.
Is it Shazbut?
The last few weeks, the development of coronavirus vaccines has gotten most of the attention. But what if you've been infected with COVID-19? What are your medication options? Let's verify. What drug treatments has the FDA approved for COVID-19? Our sources for this are the FDA and drug companies Eli Lilly and Regeneron. Since the pandemic began, the FDA has approved 3 drug treatments for people infected with coronavirus. According to the FDA, in October, the government approved the antiviral drug remdesivir as a treatment. Early studies suggest it may speed up recovery time in COVID-19 patients. In November, the FDA approved 2 more treatments. Drug companies Eli Lilly and Regeneron both created antibody cocktails. According to both companies, these treatments are to be used in mild or moderate cases of COVID-19 to prevent the virus from becoming severe. A spokesperson for the FDA says all of these treatments are still being studied for effectiveness in already hospitalized patients. Do you have something you'd like verified? Email us at verify@WUSA9.com.
Welcome back to DBL. The pandemic had many of us spending a lot of time on our phones and computers. Now Google is breaking down how we all try to make sense of 2020. Some of the most Googled questions this year were, why is the NBA postponed? And why is toilet paper sold out? Other popular searches included drive-in movie theater near me, how to cut men's hair at home, and how to make hand sanitizer. I did those last 2. As for the Twitter, this was one of the most retweeted tweets of 2020. Congratulations to the astronauts who left Earth. Good choice. And do you remember this one, simply titled Quarantine Day 6 of a sock puppet eating cars through a window? It was retweeted 850,000 times. Macaulay Culkin's tweet that made us all feel really old got more than 3 million likes. And one of the most retweeted and liked posts was the shocking announcement that actor Chadwick Boseman had passed away after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. Eric, what would you say summed up 2020 for you? Was there a specific Google search or tweet that summed it all up for you?
I'm going to have to say Kobe's death. I felt like that day, ever since that day in 2020, it has just been like mayhem. And I remember I'm on that app. Oh, crap. What's the name of the app?
Patterns?
The one that tells you like what's happening in the world and what you're supposed to experience. And on the day of Kobe's death, it said that like everything was going to be in mayhem for the next 18 months. And I swear, ever since that day, everything has been in mayhem.
What about you two?
Jeff,
anything that you actually partook in? Did you actually partake in, okay, I'm going to make hand sanitizer, or I'm going to make how to do my own haircut, or Jordan to cut my hair, anything like that?
Well, I grew my hair out for the pandemic because I didn't cut it for like three or 4 months because we couldn't go to salons and things like that.
Right.
You're making a weird face. What's yours?
No,
You know what mine was?
You seem like so not interested in that. I asked you and you're like,
Mine was this, Jeff, and I think a lot of people, I know people are going to be like, oh, you're on TV, so who cares? I think this applies to everybody, especially men that are not used to putting on makeup. I looked up how to put on makeup for men because people are going on Zoom dates. They're having Zoom interviews.
Interesting.
And so, like, and we were shooting from home, remember, for the first month, and, like, Jeray, our incredible stylist, was helping me, but, like, sometimes my face was weird. One time somebody tweeted me I'd done my makeup so badly, they asked if I was sick, and they weren't being mean.
Oh, no.
They were like genuinely concerned. Erica, I don't know if I ever told you.
No.
Somebody goes like, and it was a very thoughtful fan of DBL.
And then it made you rethink, okay, I better learn to do my makeup.
Yes.
And we did. Mark learned how to braid.
Ooh.
So he looked up braid my hair, braid Sophie's hair, and we did it specifically for my pregnancy so I could look cute while giving birth. But we ended up using it throughout the whole quarantine.
That's great.
So learn how to braid hair. It comes in very handy. Coming up on DBL, we're sharing a new list of country's most popular holiday treats, why some sweet treats are stranger than others, and actor Matthew Morrison is bringing the Grinch to life in a new musical that airs tonight. So how will he put his own spin on the iconic character? Find out next.
Christmas season. I hate all the who's, don't ask me the reason. It could be the hearts are so full of mirth. It could be the problem goes back to my birth. Maybe peace.
Welcome back to DBL. That was a sneak peek of tonight's premiere of Dr. Seuss' The Grinch musical on NBC. Earlier, I talked with the star, Matthew Morrison, to see how he brought the character to life. Check it out. Matthew Morrison joins us live. First of all, Matthew, welcome to DBL.
Who's hanging a miserable mistletoe wreath?
A lot of people have played the Grinch, just like a lot of people have played Batman, and everybody's gonna have their favorite Batman. How are you going to make this Grinch a lot of people's favorite Grinch? What are you gonna bring to this Grinch that no one has before?
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
That's a good point.
Then I will have done my job right. Well, first of all, this is a musical, so I think that in and of itself, that makes it different from the other versions. But in that, I had to find out, how does the Grinch sing and how does he dance? Because I was like, I don't want the Grinch to dance. That's just kind of ridiculous. We actually already shot this. This was meant to be a live musical, but with COVID protocols this year, The actors were in a bubble, the camera crew was in a bubble, the stagehands were in a bubble, so it was impossible to film this live. But we rehearsed this for 5 weeks like a stage musical or a play. I felt really terrified to go into this role because it's something I don't usually do, play this kind of like dark character. But there was this great liberation that happened within it, and it made me feel so free and just I had a ball.
I just want to ask a question as a fan. Just how long did it take for you to transform into the Grinch, like actual time?
You know, it's a process. I mean, the whole process took 3.5 hours. And I really gave me time to just kind of sit in like what I wanted to bring to this performance. So honestly, that whole month of rehearsal, we were in a mask and doing the distance thing. But it wasn't until we actually filmed this thing, which we only did it for 2 days, that's when everything came off. So it was actually seeing people for the first time and seeing their expressions, and people were seeing my expressions. I was doing so many mouth things with the Grinch. And so it was cool to see the reactions to what I was doing under the mask for that whole month that they couldn't see. I got into the hair and makeup chair like really early in the morning. And like you said, it took 3.5 hours to do. So I might have been asleep for some of it.
That's honest and beautiful. And look, I'm excited. My kids, I'm going to sit down with them and watch this with them. And, you know, I'm going to tell them that I met you. And they'll be like, whatever, Dad. Isn't it crazy? You thought your kids would, like, worship you. And your kids like, what? My kids are, like, annoyed by me. They turn when they see me on TV. They're like, Daddy's shows are boring. So at least you get the Grinch costume.
I know when I was actually in my whole getup, I was FaceTiming my son, and it actually took a little while for him to actually understand who I was. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Matthew Morrison, thank you for stopping by. The Grinch musical airs tonight. Don't miss it. We'll be back.
Thank you, Al.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Of course, they're all about the aliens. Willa says, aliens totally exist, Al. Jerome says, the idea that there's a galactic federation is bananas.
Thank you.
And Stacy says, aliens are among us. They're the lizard people that run secret society.
There's a lot of people that believe in those lizard people. I know a guy who is a very, very, very successful businessman that will sit down and talk to you about lizard people, and he's a millionaire, but people believe it.
What if you have alien DNA in you? You never know.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, look at me. I'm amazing.
You are. Remember to watch DBL on Facebook or YouTube. You can chat with other viewers and with the host during the commercials, and we'll read your comments on TV. It's your chance to be a part of the DBL Nation. Now, if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Taylor Swift gets into the Christmas spirit and gives back to her loyal fans. And in True Crime Chronicles, could a music executive's death somehow be linked to the OJ case? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
To DBL. I didn't know if I wanted to say Daily Blast Live or DBL, so kind of like mishmashed.
Yeah, so you said neither.
We're getting into the holiday spirit with Kelly Clarkson singing Under the Mistletoe with Brett Eldridge.
Shout out to Brett Eldridge.
Oh, okay, big fan over there. All right.
He only sang at my engagement, but
He did?
You guys know this story. Anyways, go for it.
Well, we're going to have to hear that. So
Jeff and his stories.
This was last night on The Voice. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Erica joining us from home. We're going all in with a holiday-themed list of stories for you today. So let's get to it, shall we? T Swift is getting into the spirit of the season by helping out some of her fans with some holiday cheer. Taylor donated $13,000 to two moms who have been struggling to pay their bills during the pandemic. Their stories were both featured in the Washington Post. Taylor donated directly to their GoFundMe campaigns and wrote messages to both women on their pages along with the $13,000 donation. Taylor also donated to a local food bank after one Swiftie created a light display to the tune of Taylor's song Christmas Tree Farm. Have a look.
And telling me I love you. Baby, Merry Christmas. Oh, baby, Merry Christmas. Baby,
Wow, that is all out. Erica, Erica, what do you make of Taylor's generosity?
I think it's amazing. And I mean, and don't get lost on the 13,000. The number 13 is of some significance. And I completely understand this. I actually think it's very cool because I have an angel number that every time I donate anonymously, I donate that number. And it's a quirky number. But it just makes me connect it to the reason why I'm donating and what that number means to me.
I love that. That's so substantive. Do you have like an angel number, as Erica talked about? Erica?
I don't know if I have a number, that I always use. 23 is like my number, but I didn't know it was called an angel number, but I always use that.
You have an angel number? I love that.
I don't know. I hope it's more than 13.
Oh, Albert, are you being grinchy about her donation?
I'm just saying throw another 0 on it.
Wow. Erica?
Remember that song, Throw Some D's? Yeah, throw another 0 on it.
But what if she's...
Al, you couldn't even come up with your angel number for how you're helping, but you want to throw shade on Taylor Swift for giving people $13,000?
Erica, you know I am the biggest Swiftie there is out there. I'm just saying throw some D's on it.
Isn't throw some D's on it? I always
That's
thought
Hurricane Chris.
I thought those were rims. Throw some D's
yes, it
on
is.
it. Oh.
Yeah.
So why are you
That was the only song I can think about on live TV, Sam. Let's continue to break this down.
To money.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
You're a hot mess, and I love how you just proclaimed yourself a Swiftie.
All right, so other celebrities are getting into the holiday spirit by lighting up their mansions. Check out Kim Kardashian. Wow, that's her white display on her $60 million Calabasas home. Instead of decorating the house, she put those snow white lights on all the trees. Now, her sister Kylie went for more of a gold-themed look with yellow lights lining the house and on the trees.
What point is it not a house anymore? That's a compound.
Yep. Jessica Simpson, she kept things simple with I love that, multicolored lights all along the home and yellow lights on the trees. Jennifer Garner wins Christmas, you guys. Look at that. Yes, super bright rainbow lights all over the house, trees and yard. And then Rachel Ray gave a tour of her guest house. Part of her main home was destroyed in a fire earlier this year. Watch.
And down the center of our back table, saved from our house that burned, a horse sculpture that is exactly the same as one my mom had in our house when I was a little girl. I found it at a flea market, no kidding. And these are living trees, the topiaries and the trees in boxes. These are all living things because it's all about renewal.
That is beautiful. Erica, have you started your decor yet?
Yes, we have. I think we have a photo of our bedroom, which is the shining light of the house, because our real tree is a disaster, but we can talk about that later. So,
what happened to the real
tree? Did a
tree?
Little something in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing, Erica.
Can the booth
keep it
clip
PG
that, please?
Let's keep it PG. Jeff, what about you? Did you start decorating?
Yeah, November 1st. Do we have a picture? I just took a picture of my tree. That was November 1st.
Look at that.
I love that Jeff did it right away this year. And you got me to do the same thing. What about you? Or we're saving yours.
Yes.
Okay, I'm being told
Sam,
we're saving yours.
Let's get to yours. I feel like mine's going to be embarrassing.
My husband and I, we definitely started decorating. I took a page. My husband did all the lights outside. He did such a good job. But I took a page from Jeff's book. Usually I do not start decorating until well after Thanksgiving. But because of 2020, I went all out. I wanted my house to feel like a Hallmark movie. And every time I walk into it, look at Sophie's obsessed with Elf on the Shelf.
You're not supposed to touch Elf on the Shelf.
I know, but we have our own tradition because she's obsessed with her Elf on the Shelf.
I thought that was the one tradition.
She likes to find him every morning, because he flies home to see Santa and he tells Santa how Sophie did that day, and she likes to hold him every morning when he flies home from Santa. She's obsessed with her Elf. Let's take a look at yours, Al.
Okay, let's do it, Sam. I've been okay.
What? One single plastic tree?
There's another one on the way that's wooden, and there are 3 wreaths that you can't see because I didn't want to put my address up there.
Wow.
But yes, look, that lights up, okay? And I think it provides a good backdrop with the white brick.
Erica, bah humbug.
What?
Bah humbug.
I'm not
Grinch.
done.
No, Al. No.
Yeah. That's embarrassing. No. If I didn't have this plexiglass right here, I would turn your chair.
Oh, yeah. That look, wait till
we have a side-by-side of Al's house and whose house? My house.
Wow.
Wow, I did not do that.
Giving
the
it to
producers
you,
did.
Al.
Yeah, at least my picture's up close. I already messed with saying her pictures are terrible of her own home. It looks like you look like a celebrity stalker took those pictures. You should be behind some trash cans taking that.
I was behind trash cans taking that.
You could you get any further? Are you using a drone?
Trying to encompass the whole experience.
The whole street, nailed it.
All right, keeping with our holiday theme, our favorite sweets this time of year. Ooh, I like the music. They really depend on where we live. Job search site Zippia looked at Google Trends to find the most popular Christmas dessert by state. No surprise, gingerbread and cheesecake and holiday cookies were popular in most states. But here are some unusual ones. Utah and Washington State prefer fruity candies like Jolly Ranchers and Skittles. What? Ooh. Idaho, all about the candy cane. The Carolinas are all about the fruitcake. And get this, people in Wyoming say eggnog is their favorite dessert, while in Arizona, it's all about the hot cocoa.
How?
What do you mean, how?
I went to Arizona to visit the homie Frank Caliendo, and I took a screenshot. It was 114 for 5 straight days. Like, who wants hot cocoa?
Not during December, Al. When did you go visit?
Oh, it's 101.
No, it isn't. It's probably closer to the 70s, maybe even the 60s. When did you visit Frank Caliendo?
In the dead of summer. It was so hot.
Then your argument's null and void. What's your favorite holiday treat?
Gingerbread cookies, a little eggnog, a little gingerbread. I'm a tourist when it comes to the holidays. I like to experiment all the things, very cheesy style. So yeah, gingerbread.
Doesn't your mouth get dry? They're so dry.
I have eggnog
They're like
to wash
cardboard.
it down. Yeah, I think they're delicious.
Okay, what about you, Erica? Are you a fan of gingerbread cookies or something else?
I'm not a fan of gingerbread.
Me neither.
But I have to say carrot cake, which I know isn't really a Christmas thing, but it does seem like people serve it more around this time of the year.
Not at all, Erica.
No, Erica.
Nope, sorry,
no
girl.
One
that's
likes
more of like
cake.
that's more of like a summer treat. That's not a Christmas.
What?
Nope.
No
That
one
is
likes
not. No.
carrot
No,
It is not a
Erica.
summer treat.
Yeah, that
It's
ain't
too
no,
heavy and decadent to be a summer treat.
That ain't no Christmas treat, Erica. You know what a good Christmas treat is? German Stola. That's what we have in my household.
Sounds like you called her a name.
German Stola.
How dare you? Should have yelled that in a bar.
German Stola is a fruit cake bread, and you put powdered sugar icing on top, and it's divine. What about you, Al? Did you partake in this? Did you give the producers your choice?
I forgot to send in my choice, but it's a pretty simple concept. I like sugar cookies, fresh out of the oven, a little bit brown on the bottom side, and I like to be able to see a different color sugar on top.
Oh, so you like cutouts?
Right, I like the cutouts, but I like to have the red gigantic sugar crystals or green ones on there. That's my thing.
You're a big cutout fan. I like it. I'm
am.
impressed, actually.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sugar cookies.
Got to work on the house decor, but you got your Christmas
Well, I'll have you come
treats.
over and take a picture when I'm done.
Coming up on DBL, a young music executive's shocking death. Could this unsolved mystery from the 90s be linked to the O.J. Simpson case? That's in True Crime Chronicles, coming up next. Brett Cantor was Hollywood royalty, a music executive who was brutally killed. The investigation went cold, but could his death be tied to the O.J. Simpson case? It's all part of a new podcast series out now. Here's an inside look in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Brett Cantor grew up in the heart of Hollywood with his family. His father, Paul, was a well-known music manager who helped guide the careers of big artists like B.J. Thomas and Dionne Warwick. Following in his father's footsteps, Brett went on to work with Chrysalis Music Group and helped discover legendary bands like Rage Against the Machine. He was also part owner of the nightclub The Dragonfly in Hollywood, where celebrities often visited, and it's where he met his girlfriend, actress Rose McGowan. At just 25 years old, there was no slowing him down until one mysterious night changed everything. It was July 30th, 1993. Brett was seen leaving a club in Beverly Hills around 1 a.m. 24 hours later, Brett's brother found his body inside his apartment. He was brutally murdered, his throat was slashed, and he had been stabbed multiple times. It's been almost 30 years, and Brett's killer is still out there. Could the conspiracy theories be true? Is Brett's case linked to the O.J. Simpson trial? In 1994, 1 year after Brett's death, America was glued to their TVs as police chased O.J. Simpson. He was accused of killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ron Goldman. Their bodies were found with very similar injuries to Brett's. Nicole was also a regular at the Dragonfly, and Ron worked there as a waiter. Brett's murder case came back into the spotlight when O.J.'s defense team argued the similarity of the three killings meant it was the same person and not him. O.J. was acquitted of the murders in 1995. For now, both cases remain a mystery. So what really happened? It's all being dished in the new true crime podcast, Dragonfly, Brett Cantor Murder Mystery.
Earlier, Tori and Al spoke with the creators of this new podcast to get an exclusive first look. We are joined by the co-creators of this brand new podcast, JC Nova and retired homicide detective Pat Tapia. Your podcast launches an investigation into the cold case and murder of Brett Cantor, a well-known music executive and 90s Hollywood royalty. JC, no one has touched Brett's story in years. So what made you want to bring it back into the spotlight and do this podcast?
Well, I actually met Brett in 1992 when I was in college. I worked at a restaurant called Damiano's, and he was one of the nightly regulars there. And obviously, when he was murdered, it just really shocked us. And we were so surprised that more attention wasn't paid to it because he was very high profile. And next door, Patrick moved in next door to me at the building that I lived in. And I had asked him about the case. I said, is there any way that you could check into it and see what's going on? And that's kind of how Dragonfly was started.
It's been almost 30 years, 30 years later, and Brett's case is still cold. Pat, you've worked in law enforcement for decades. Why do you think this case has been so hard to crack, and who do you think did it?
There's several different rabbit holes you could go down to. And there's a lack of cooperation from a lot of people back when Brett was murdered. And without a solid motive or some physical evidence of who might have been the perpetrators, those are really difficult to investigate. They're very difficult to solve.
Yeah, cold cases are notorious for that. Pat, what are the ties between Brett's murder and the O.J. Simpson case? And do you believe that connection kind of hurt or actually helped Brett's case?
Well, first of all, there's really no connection other than a stabbing instrument was used in both murders. I think that Brett's case got overshadowed by the notoriety of the O.J. Simpson case, along with several other things that happened during the few years that transpired after Brett's murder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, JC, you spoke with Brett's family and friends. What was the most shocking thing they shared with you in the podcast? And has Rose McGowan or any other celebrity spoken out about Brett?
There was quite a few shocking incidents. We know that he got a phone call at 2:30 in the morning. And then at 3:30 in the morning, the neighbors heard him yell, help, help, please don't kill me. They didn't call the police. His body wasn't found until 24 hours later by his brother Cliff when he didn't show up for work. Rose McGowan has done a lot to move the case forward. We were really surprised to know that there is actually a person of interest. The case was reopened in 2006.
We're kind of thinking that Brett either found out something that was going on at the club or something else, and that in order to silence him and make him cooperate or go along with the program, he was visited by these people who killed him.
You've got yourself a new subscriber for sure in me. The Dragonfly Brett Cantor Murder Mystery podcast is out now. To listen, just search for it on your favorite podcast player. Pat and JC, thank you for publicizing this case so it can get the attention that it deserves. You all are heroes for that. Thank you for being here, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. The Affordable Care Act has been around for 10 years, but how much do you really know about it? We're sharing some Affordable Care Act fast facts on this DBL Health Alert presented by Health Markets. First up, it's been around since 2010 and was designed to provide affordable coverage for all Americans. So who benefits? If you don't have health insurance right now, or you buy it individually on the market like a small business owner, it could be for you. Why would you want to enroll? Well, it offers subsidies or tax credits. You can't be denied coverage because of pre-existing health problems, and your prescriptions will cost less. We made it easy for you to find out if you're eligible for an ACA plan, and to get a free quote today, just call 1-800-753-3126. Healthcare. I mean, you said something earlier. You wish that there was no profit in healthcare, that there was no profit in what were
politics and
journalism.
I mean, where would we be? I think a lot of people would trust what they read a lot more and what their doctors said to them a lot more and what their politicians said a lot more if they knew that there wasn't a financial incentive. I mean, these people who are put in these positions are human beings. They're going to listen to the people that give them money. And if somebody donates you $500,000, like, Jeff, why don't you vote no on this bill? I know what I would do. So I don't begrudge them. I mean, you know, people want money.
And check it out. You know what I mean? Even if I understand financially you might not be able to afford it, but just call, look into it, see what.
It'll save you money.
Absolutely.
It will absolutely save you money, because if you get stuck in the hospital without any sort of protection, or
I ruptured my Achilles tendon with no health insurance. It probably destroyed my credit for 6 years.
Yeah, please give them a call. It's a great safety net, and you will save money, especially with prescription. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tomorrow on DBL, a 12-year-old crocheting prodigy whose creations are going viral.
It was really a fluke, but it was a wonderful one. It was like a happy accident.
What inspires the young man to pour his heart and soul into an unlikely hobby? Tomorrow on DBL.
One more story before we go. So do you think your Christmas trees just come out of the ground looking perfect? Think again. Check out these videos posted on TikTok of workers actually trimming trees at Christmas tree farms to get them that perfect Christmas tree shape. I guess we've all been fooled. Did you know this?
I didn't know they had to do all that.
I didn't know that. Erica.
I knew.
Oh, Erica, you know, does this have anything to do with that basement tree of yours?
Yeah.
Tell us.
It has everything to do with it. Basically, I have a Christmas blob.
That's not crazy.
I love that.
Gorgeous.
It's like a natural Christmas tree.
That looks beautiful, Erica. So what would you want it to be differently? Just more triangular shaped?
I had to filter that picture, y'all. I filtered the picture of the tree. That's how hideous the tree was.
Erica, are you body shaming your tree?
She is.
Is Erica body shaming her tree?
Shame on you. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, Erica.